Night Owls.
Turn on Night Owls.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Night Owls. Thanks for joining us. Oh, have we got a show for you tonight? Oh, yes. But we're starting off with something that if you are watching this rather than listening to it, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, you'll already have seen something terrifyingly ugly. But other than me, what is the ugliest thing you've ever seen? Now, I mention this because just yesterday, I'm walking along a street behind a Great Dane. Now, this Great Dane, tail up, pencil sharpener out, a bit messy. It obviously hadn't been taking care of its personal ablutions as well as it should. And below the pencil sharpener, rather like two huge pendulums swaying to the left and the right with every step he took. Now, he can't help being a dog. He can't help being a male dog with danglers. I understand all of that. But it was a horrible looking thing. And then what did it do? It stopped, it squatted, it pooed, and it did that shaky leg thing that dogs do for no apparent reason when they're laying a pipe, so to speak. So I just thought there cannot be anything uglier than that. And then I was instantly proven wrong because the owner then had to pick it up. And this is the size of like 2-pounder sausages, and he's using both hands in plastic gloves and then putting it in a bag and then trying to get his mucky glove. It was, the whole thing was ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. Is there anything uglier than that? What's the ugliest thing you have seen? The ugliest thing. Now, we put this out a bit earlier. We've already got a few really good ones that I jotted down. And this one comes from Ray Maynard, who lives in Felling. He says, the ugliest thing he's ever seen, any skid mark. He says there's no such thing as a good-looking skid mark. And absolutely right. Absolutely. Especially if you're with a new partner and all of a sudden in your washing, no, it doesn't work. So fly tipping is what I'm going to throw in because there's no such thing as a nice ruination of our beautiful countryside. So what is the ugliest thing you have seen? Now, frankly, you've already seen a few really ugly things. And I'm sorry, but dogs come back into the equation. She's trying to empty her anal glands.
So the vet emptied them.
How many years do you go to college to do that? Oh. So what do they do? Just kind of aim the dog at something and squeeze? I mean, how did she do it? If somebody's sitting there right now eating a stew, I bet they've just pushed the dumpling to the side. Oh, that's horrible. So what is the ugliest thing that you've seen? Sometimes in social situations, you can have an awful result.
I don't know when it happened, but we were dancing without our hats on. And my friend that's from Wales went to put her hat back on. Yeah. And somebody had actually pooed in it.
Oh, no.
When she went to put her hat back on, I'm laughing about it now, Alan, right? Because it is funny, but at the time it wasn't.
I know. That's really doing the dirty.
No, but let's put it this way, she had a night.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That night.
Oh, that's not good. I mean,
somebody must have took one of the hats
to the toilet or something, and
went to the toilet and pooed in it. And my friend, she's got long blonde hair.
She didn't put it on, did she?
She did, yes. That's what I've seen.
She had a poo hat on.
I'm laughing, right? Yeah, I'm glad she's gone back to Wales.
Hey, so am I.
Right, but honestly, it was trickling down her face.
No.
And she went away with her face and she went, "What's that?" And I went, "Oh, well, I said, what?" And it had obviously come out of her hat.
Oh,
and with it being hot in the pub, I don't know how long it had been lying in the hat.
Yeah.
And she sort of went away with her hair and what's that? And it was coming out of her hat and down her hair.
And she'd have to go to the loo and wash her hair in the sink as best she could.
She had to go back to the hotel and get back and washed. And
that's horrible.
We all had to go back, obviously. We didn't want to leave her.
Why did we laugh there? Because it's not funny, you know.
But it's not. It's not, but it is. It is now, but mind you, last night it wasn't.
No, I can imagine.
We were only down for 3 nights and we just partied all weekend.
Yeah, that's just it. It's not. It isn't funny. And if you laughed, you're a bad, wicked, and evil person. Just Call a spade a spade. Then there are certain things that you never want to see, like a dad French kissing. He French kisses the dog. That's all.
You can see the dog licking his teeth and everything.
No.
I'm serious, Alan. I'm serious.
Oh, that's just wrong.
Oh, tell us about it. He was just licking his two hands just before us.
Oh, dear, that's scary. There. So, what's the ugliest thing you've ever seen? Simple. Give Chris a call. He's waiting for you right now on 0191 488 3188. What else are we talking about? Stormy experiences. We've had some wheelie bins travelling in the street where I am, a good 150 yards. What's the nastiest stormy thing near to you? Give me a call. Bensham, I gather a roof came off. Arthur George Granger here, Ellen. Ugliest thing, a Scotsman wearing shorts whilst on holiday in Australia. Bright white legs due to a lack of sun at home. Well, I'm ginger, so I know all about white skin. I look like bacon rind when I'm lying on a beach, but I could agree that that's not a great look, especially if you got socks on and your legs look whiter than your little white socks. Brian Vos says, Alan, ugly seeing a maggot crawling out of an apple just as you're biting into it. Absolutely. Or there's nothing worse than biting an apple and seeing half a worm left in it. You know, you've just chowed the last one. 0191 488 3188. New cyclist rules. Now, I think this is going to lead to death and misery on our country roads. You've got to drive in, if you're a cyclist, you've got to pedal in the middle of the lane now, not at the edge, which was traditional. And I drove for 7 miles behind a cyclist today. It took me 20 minutes to do a country road because realistically I could not overtake because they're tiny, thin roads. So you stay behind them. I did stay behind for 20 minutes. Then you got to a bigger road and I could overtake. How many other people would wait that long to overtake? If you're in a Beamer or an Audi, you'd have just gone. And you're going to go around the corner on the wrong side of the road. It's asking for misery. It will end up tragically. Also, cars driving on a path. Now, I saw this the other day as well. Some trees had come down in Storm Malik. And tree in the middle of the road. Not a big tree. A tree that any motorist could get out of a car and just push to the path. Didn't do it. Drove on the path to get round it. And then every other car behind them drives on the path. And people with prams and stuff having to just wait because there's 100 cars coming around this instead of one driver getting out and moving the damn thing. What's that all about? Also, neighbours got a text about this a little bit earlier today. Neighbours should ask if they're going to get a dog. You know, you should be able to choose whether your neighbour has a dog or not. Right or wrong? Where do you stand on that? And a girlfriend bleeding and bruised, making allegations on the internet. We can't name names, although the news did manage to find a way around it there. Young people being paid exorbitant amount, more money a month than most people make in a year. How do you feel about too much too soon, really, I suppose is what you've got to say. We don't know whether he's guilty or not, but allegations have been made. Boris flies animals out of Afghanistan, leaving the interpreters who were threatened with death in Afghanistan. That is, you know, talk about dumb stuff to do. And I'm a big fan of critters. We're all just part of the circle of life. But when people are their lives are threatened, or you could take a couple of dogs, well, surely you take the person that's most at risk. Also, will the police whitewash Boris's long list of parties because apparently they work for him? What's the point of having an inquiry if the people that are doing the inquiry work for the person that you're inquiring into? And what are they inquiring into? Everybody knows he was at these parties. And apparently his wife had an ABBA party as well during the same period. Also, a 16-year-old girl kills herself after being bullied. When will that end? How many years have we been talking about bullying? And also, we're going to have to pay £12 billion more in our national insurance to cover up the government's mess with Brexit and the government's mess with how they've brought in the whole COVID restrictions. Signal, get jabbed or quit the NHS, one minister said this week. There are 2,000 vacancies for cabin crew as holidays begin to kick again. And a 5-year-old had his last birthday all alone while Boris partied. A Gateshead family, bless him. Giant Russian red crabs found in UK waters. Could this be a new industry? And Uri Geller says we should prepare for an alien invasion. What do you think? Toon Mam, 89, I'm sure you're not that age. Ugliest thing I've ever seen was a toddler taking an angry poo in the magazine aisle of Asda. Yeah. Do you think that's why they pat their bottoms? Do you know? They're just trying to mop up any additional mess. 0191 488 3188. Time for a little bit of music for We Are Greatest Hits Radio Northeast, but not until we've had a call. And that call, our very first ringer-innerer, is Danny, who's in Allendale. Hi, Danny.
Hiya.
Hello, darling. What can we do for you tonight?
Nothing. Just the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Well, today was
that?
definitely my Yorkshire puddings.
Why? What happened?
Oh, they were just terrible. I had family around. It was pressure.
So did they come out like biscuits or did they come out like an exploding glob?
I can't even describe how bad they were. They were like holy muffins. I don't know. Just awful.
Would you like holy muffins with that? That's even a better name. If you'd have just said, we're not having Yorkshires this week. We've decided
holy muffin, anyone?
Because we've got guests, we've made you some holy muffins. Brilliant. Because I must admit, over the years, I've had some mingers of Yorkshire pudding. Sometimes you get the ones that are burnt on the bottom. They look perfect from the top, and then it's like eating charcoal. And I've had a few biscuits that I've made, and they're supposed to be Yorkshire puddings, but they're crinkly and crunchy. And if you didn't dip them in gravy, you'd never manage to eat them at all. But no, holy muffins, you've created a new thing. If you go to Allendale, you don't get Yorkshire puddings, you get holy. I love the idea of a holy muffin. We're not saying grace anymore because we're having holy muffins. Brilliant. Excellent.
The worst part is both my mum and dad are chefs, so they'll not be happy about me holy muffins.
No. Did they mention them? But they had to have mentioned them when they were eating them.
Well, it was me auntie and uncle that were here today, but they know my dad definitely would have said something.
Did your auntie and uncle just eat them and say nothing, or did they?
They were very silent.
No, that's a good guess. But you know what the talking point in the car on the way back would be, though. Yeah. Did you taste her Yorkshires? Yeah.
Oh no.
But you see, it's a good thing because what happens is they have a nice meal and it's free. Come on, it's bonus. You get in the car and then the bloke can turn to his lady and say, "Oh, your Yorkshire puddings are much better than," and then she feels better about herself. It kind of works at that level.
Yeah, and then at home, my husband's going, "What happened to Yorkshire puddings?" Embarrassing.
Well, you should make sure. So next time, I'll either make holy muffins or you can do it. You work the whole.
Do you know what the worst part is that there's an ongoing joke in my family that I try to make everything in the microwave, which is not the truth because I actually do make everything from scratch, but they all think it's very funny.
Hang on, but where did they get that from? You've obviously done something in the past with a microwave that nobody's ever forgotten.
No, so I always bleat on that I do everything and make every meal from scratch. So they just take the mick out of us and tell us I make everything in the microwave.
Well, as long as you can come up with holy muffins or a phrase like that, you're not doing too bad. Thank you, Danny.
Oh, they were terrible.
Lovely to hear from you. Thanks for coming on. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tana. Bye-bye. Have you ever done that? Come on, Yorkshire pudding. I think they're tough. Getting the right batter mixed together, getting it all bubbled up and fluffy. Oh, no, it's one of the harder things to do, I reckon. Because if you make a bad Yorkshire pudding, there's no recovery from that, really. Because people want to eat it because it's a Yorkshire pudding. We love Yorkies. 0191 488 3188. Alan Robson with your Night Owls. Greatest Hits Radio, playing the greatest hits. Within 20 feet.
That's ridiculous. I think we might get something here. As soon as Kenny comes down, we'll start.
What the hell's that?
Did you hear that?
Squeaky door. There's no one.
Was that a door? I thought that was the table.
It came from that corner.
I thought it was the table in the corner.
All right, I thought it was the door. I don't know.
Well, there's nobody at the door, is there?
No.
That was clear as day.
Well, that certainly would have picked up.
We should just start. Why don't we just start, Tony?
I've already started.
Now, just literally. Now, literally 2 seconds ago, this table in the corner made a really, really loud creaking noise. So it's with that over our shoulder, which is tremendous. Hopefully we'll have it caught on camera, because Hollywood McShane was literally, you were probably what?
I wasn't far from it.
15 feet from it. And it made this loud creaking noise just there. We've seen doors opening and closing already, and strange bangs. However, in the room where we began, we placed Gwendolyn down, and she's firing almost immediately for no reason, 5 or 6 times in a row without any explanation. So we know we're in a place where we're likely to get something. Welcome, each and every one of you. If you wonder where we are, we're in a place called Lanchester. Lanchester used to be called Longovisium. It was a Roman, noises to the left. It was a Roman town many, many years ago, and it's got incredible stories. The reason that we're here, and we ask you to share your socks off. If you do, you will get yourself one of our, it's hidden under that. There he is. If you would like one of our traditional night owl badges, we would love you to share your socks off. We need it to go as far as we possibly can, gain us as many new supporters as possible, because it's all that keeps us going. Why are we here? We're in Lanchester Community Centre. Now, it's directly across the road from the workhouse, claimed to be one of the more haunted places, yet a lot of people have had stuff here. The lady who has allowed us to do this tells me that the piano teacher, and there's a piano just here, the piano teacher keeps hearing and seeing and feels things happening. She's locked her piano. So if you hear, if you hear any pianos going off, there's no way we can get to it. She says there's always a feeling wherever she is that there's something about.
That sounds like Kenny.
Is that Kenny?
Yeah.
I just heard a voice there. Kenny is making his way down. We've got him planting things, spirit traps in various places. I brought a lot of standard ghost hunting gadgets with us. Some of them have already been set out. But this building here used to be a schoolroom back in 1875. And if you go online, you'll catch 1 or 2 stories about the place. You'll see 1 or 2 pictures of the pupils all standing, looking smart in their long frocks and dresses. But the people that use this place, especially upstairs near a conference room, have witnessed a full-figured apparition in white moving through the various rooms. Now, here's Kenny now. Now, we're thinking that, have you set that up?
Everything's set up. Yeah, doll set up, Ted set up.
While we were in here, the table in the far corner creaked as if somebody was really resting that full weight on it. So we're already getting stuff. But the young lady that showed us around who wants to mention that this place has a fabulous new gym.
It has.
It's a great gym. If you want to work out in it, come down to Lanchester. It's brilliant. You got all your strength work, your running machines. It's all here. However, the people that use this on a regular basis, and the interesting thing was, even the young lady herself said that when she goes to the upstairs rooms, if she has to pick up a chair, she feels that she has to explain to the room, I'm just getting this chair because there is a presence there.
What room was that?
Conference room
I've
upstairs.
been in there.
Is that where the TED is? Supernatural TED's been placed. So Ted's up there now, maybe experiencing that. But I went back as far as I could down school records, and it was a wibbly wobbly road to find out. But there's one story of 1 year, and it's 1878. This school, when it was a school, was a very vicious and brutal school because it was taking on Rajis, really, farm workers, children who didn't have much discipline, and they were expected to discipline them. So they hired this woman called Cecily Ritson. Now, Cecily was a teacher. Within the 1 year she worked here, she was promoted to headmistress. And it was said that she forced out the female teacher who was headmistress before her. Within the year, so many complaints from children and their parents saying that their children had been brutalized, made to bleed, left stick marks on their backs, that Cecily Ritson was sacked. And she said, "You'll never get me out of this building." And people believe that it's Cecily who haunts this place right now. We're going to find out tonight. Now, we started out in a small office, which I think is just up here. Let us show you where it is. This, you can imagine this with school kids in, can't you?
The voice of the North.
Alan Robson's Night Owls, the phone-in that gets you talking.
Now, don't forget, we have another competition for you, Who's Hits, and we'll be telling you your first clue in about 30 minutes from now, so get ready for that. But let's get as many calls from you guys on as possible. Now, we're not talking about the ugliest thing you've ever seen. We want more of them, please. But we're also going to run a little aside as well, which is sick note songs, okay? If every song was to do with sick notes, what would the songs be called? So it's basically songs about any part of the body, but you've got to change words, if you know what I mean. We've got stuff already like A Sample in a Bottle by The Police, very good. 3 Grinds in a Fountain. Rod Stewart, I Was Only Choking, very good. So if you can come up with any more, we've got anything by Pimple Mines or Prick Astley. Okay, so anything to do with sick notes, hospitals, doctors, that kind of thing. Think of a song title that makes you smile, or it'll make others smile, and we'll do that. And don't forget, you can WhatsApp us to get straight through. Save us to your contacts, 07863 431 837. It's not the most memorable number in the world, so jot it down, 07863 431 837. Then if you want to get on the show, you just WhatsApp us, and we get back to you as soon as we can, okay? That's the deal. Sarah is with us. She's in Stockton upon the Tees. Hello, Sarah.
Hello, Alan.
Hello, Madonna. What we got from you then tonight?
First-time caller, so I'm very, very nervous.
Thank you very much. What can I do for you?
I've been listening to your show for years and years and years.
Right.
And I've been really fascinated with all the ghost hunts that you do.
Right.
What does that feel like when you're on a ghost hunt? I know it sounds a bit of an odd question because you describe what you see and you describe what you hear and that kind of thing. But what does it feel like?
Well, more often than not, I always say that I'm the history guy because I'm the history guy. And to be honest, if I'm somewhere where a load of history's happened, I'm usually pretty damn happy about it because to be able to tell the story of a place while you're actually there, whether it's somewhere local or whether it's somewhere across the world, is a fabulous thing. And I love it because you get to feel the history of a place. You get to feel how the people have become the kind of people that they are living there because of everything that's gone on in the past. So usually I'm really happy. On occasions, I'll get a start and get a jump, and sometimes if something happens that you didn't expect. But most of the time, I'm just happy to be anywhere, really. Happy to be anywhere doing something different.
I have learned so much history from listening to your shows over the years.
Thank you.
I mean, years and years ago, I had to have a hysterectomy. Well, it was an emergency hysterectomy.
Oh, blimey.
And I was the youngest person on the ward, and I introduced everybody to Alan Robson's ghost hunt.
Lovely, thank you.
And then a few years ago, I was knocked off my motorbike, and I had a broken leg, and I went to stay at a friend's house.
Right.
And I remember laying awake, listening to the night that you went into the caves where the cannibal family lived.
Stormy Bean, yes. Uh-huh.
Yes, and I didn't think about my broken leg one bit.
That's great.
And I've been to some of the places that you've been to, Neville's Cross.
Right.
And even the other week after you went to Yarm, I went to Hero Tom's grave to have a look.
Brilliant.
I've learned so much, and I've been on every step of the walks with you. But
that's great.
What it feels like to me, sitting here, probably isn't what it feels like to you.
No, as I say, the fact that life now, I think, is harder than it's ever been that I can remember in my life. And okay, I wasn't alive during wartime or whatever, but I think it's tougher for people now than ever. And if I can do anything that will take people out of any difficulties they may have and put them in a better place, that makes me really proud. So thank you very much. I'm glad I was of use. Just don't feel you always have to destroy your body just so you can listen to a show or two.
No. I've listened for years and years and years, and it's just been. I mean, partly for me, the fascination is I'm supposedly named after a ghost.
Right. Oh, is that right? Who?
My mum and dad lived in Shaftesbury Street in Stockton, where the flats were.
Right.
And not long before I was born, my mum, she was looking after the flat above her because the guy had moved out. He said he couldn't cope any longer.
Right.
He would go to bed, and everything would be normal. And the next morning, all of his chairs in the kitchen would be stacked on the table, and his furniture would all be turned around facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
My mum had been given the key to look after his flat,
right.
And she'd seen a lady wearing a long black dress and a white pinny and a very, very large hoop of keys on her hip.
Right.
And on the day that she found out she was pregnant with me, my dad was coming in and coming up the stairs of the flats, and he heard a lady's voice very, very clear, and the voice said, "It's going to be a girl, and you're going to call it Sarah." And
whoa.
My mum, he was in a hurry to tell my mum what he'd heard and couldn't see anybody. But equally so, my mum was also in a hurry to tell him that she was pregnant because neither of them knew what the other one knew. And when my mum went and did the research, where Shaftesbury Street used to be a big children's home, like a big children's ward.
Right.
And the bunch of keys was the keys for each of the children's bedrooms.
Wow. So
and
why
the
did
lady
Mum choose
the matron
Sarah,
lady
though?
was called Sarah.
Why did your mum pick the ghost's name then?
No, she didn't. My dad heard the lady's voice.
Yeah, but she didn't have to pick it. Once the lady said it. Oh, but mind you, then
I don't know.
You'd be really worried as to what the woman would do if you didn't call the child Sarah anymore.
Well, the bizarre thing is, when we actually moved from Shaftesbury Street, I was only a few months old. My mum always said that you could tell when she was around because you got a really old-fashioned lavender soap smell, not like lavender the plant, but more like the soap.
Right. Yeah. It's what nanas used to have in their drawers many, many years ago.
Exactly. Yes.
That old strong lavender smell.
Yeah. When we moved house, she came with us, and even now, I mean, I can't see them, I can't hear them. I'm not like a medium or anything like that.
Right.
But every now and then you can smell that around the house.
Right. How about that? So she's taken to you, and she's stayed with you ever since. It's a lovely thing.
But it's just, I mean, I don't know whether it's because of that or what, but for years and years and years of listening to you doing the ghost hunts and learning the history, and I've been so fascinated as to what it feels like for you guys. I mean, sometimes I've been sat on the edge of my seat thinking, I'd be so scared. And you guys are doing it like you're like superheroes and brave, but is that what it feels like?
It's not quite that. There have been times like even weirdly, and the one we did this past week, it was one of those things where for no particular reason I felt anxious, and I don't know why I felt anxious. I just had a flutter in my chest, like I should be frightened. And I know it's not that anything, I don't believe that anything's going to hurt or harm, but I had a flutter for no apparent reason. And we got some little bits, we got some things we can't explain, but I'm looking for that 5% that I keep banging on about, the 5% that you can't put down to anything else. And sometimes you can go to a place and absolutely nothing happens, and the feeling is just you're walking around in the dark. On other occasions, there can be a sense of threat, and sometimes you get a gut feeling of something unpleasant. In some cases, something pleasant. You're never quite sure what you're going to get till you actually get there. But that's part of the business for us to try and get that across to you guys that are supporting us at the other end. Thank heavens. So, but I'm glad that I've done you some good over the years, Sarah, and thank you very much. Anything else when you're on?
You'll never know how many lives you've touched with us walking along the hunts with you, honestly. And we can't thank you enough for what you do. Just keep up the good work.
We'll do our darndest. Thank you, Sarah. Bless you, Dan. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
You take care. Bye.
Oh, how nice. First time caller as well. Brilliant. Named after a ghost. Wow. And what a story. And then you find out that there was a woman called Sarah. This is what she did. That's why she had the keys. If you can trace stuff back like that, it's amazing. 01914 488 3188. Let us head to Gosforth now. We have a Michelle there. Hello, Michelle.
Hello, Alan.
Good evening, love. What can we do for you?
Just a story about Ugly. I was having my third baby, and I was having him early because of illness. I've had this brain thing still going on, and they were scared that I would go in when I went into labour. I might burst this thing in my brain, so they had to induce the baby early.
Right.
So when he was born, oh my God, he was blue, and you know this spontella thing on your head that can cross over when they're born.
Right, yes. Uh-huh.
Well, it did. So he comes out with this pointy head and blue and covered in wax.
Oh.
My mother sat there and she says, Jesus Christ, it's an alien, shove it back. He was the ugliest looking thing ever.
Well, you see, I think babies in general are, in any case. But,
yeah,
but I bet
it
this
didn't take long for the colour to turn to normal and his head to turn normal, but honestly, he looked like a little blue alien.
Oh, because a friend of mine showed me a picture of his baby, and the child had to come out with forceps.
Oh God, even
and
worse.
The head,
it makes they look even worse with that.
The head was really weird shaped, and I'm
saying, yeah,
it's not gonna, the brain's not gonna stay like that. Because how much hair are you going to need to cover that,
Cover all that, yeah. I mean, babies are not funny when they're first born to start with. Everybody's, you're showing the photographs going, oh, he's gorgeous, and you're thinking, oh, you stop.
No, but it's hard. It's a hard one to say when you're at the time. Isn't he gorgeous? Doesn't he look like, he doesn't look like anybody when they're born.
Exactly.
Really just
scrunched up little balls.
But you had three. So surely you were... and I suppose because of the nature of how early the child was, the third one would have been the most panicky, scary one, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah. It was very scary at the time, but once he was born and we knew he was safe, it was obviously a very big relief.
Yeah.
But I mean, now he's 6'7", strapping laddie, and he's dropped out gorgeous.
There, 6'7" alien, brilliant.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to wear a wizard's hat now for the shape of his head,
no,
does he?
No, not at all. He's absolutely lush.
Brilliant.
I mean, he's 6'7", size 15 shoe. I mean, from being born early and being tiny.
So how tall were you or the father? I mean, were they 6'7" or?
His father was the same height, but he's never seen in his life.
So you fell for a basketball player by the sound of things.
Well, found for the basket part, yeah.
Or basket case player instead. That's a very different thing. That's brilliant.
Yes, exactly.
No, but isn't it strange though how a baby's head can be, because the the forceps child I was telling you about, little Ryan.
Yeah.
He's perfectly shaped, perfectly formed. But at the time, you think there's a major problem. You look at that.
Yeah, exactly.
Terrifying.
And think how the poor mother was feeling at the time as well.
Yeah, it's just be a real difficult call though for one of the doctors to say, "Oh, he looks just like you." If it's little and blue with a pointy hair, that's
exactly.
That's not a great compliment. Hey, lovely story, Michelle.
Cool.
Thank you very much, darling.
Okie doke then. Cheers.
Bye-bye. People, I do one of the great honours, and it's not just, yes, we know we do the ghost hunt every Friday, 9:00. Try and catch it if you can. It'll be in 2 parts. If you can become a supporter, that's great. Come and join us on our little meanders around places. And then once we've been there, then go yourself, have a day out and follow in our footsteps, because there's so many cool places, literally just on our doorstep with some amazing stories. We had Sarah there mentioning a story of Brave Tom, one of the most incredible stories of bravery that you could ever imagine. And there he is in a cemetery in Yarm, and almost forgotten. And these people never should, when they're that courageous and have that great a story behind them. And then look them up and read the story for yourself. Amazing. Anyway, let's crack on. We've got a few more sick note songs. Stents coming out. Very good. He Ain't Heaving. He's my brother. Oh, dear. Stop Puke and Listen. Thrush Hour. And The World Is Just a Great Big Bunion. Have you got any more sick note songs? See if you could work some of them out while I go across to Gateshead, because Brian's waiting for us. Hello, Brian.
Hi, Alan. A couple of things I was going to mention.
Okay.
People who voted, people who voted for Brexit to come out of Europe and that, right?
Yes.
I believe that we should give people who are the age of 16 to 25, the vote whether they want to go back into Europe, because obviously they're the younger generation, right? And I feel it's for them. I mean, it's not for the people like, a lot of people in their late 60s, 50s, we don't want to be part of Europe anymore. We don't want people from France coming here or Eastern Europe and all that, so we'll get rid of them all. But yet we can't do anything about people coming from France. Because of maritime law, we can't force them back if they're coming across the channel. So, last year there was 10,000 migrants came across from France. So, what was the point of leaving Europe? If we'd actually stayed in there, we might have had more, we might have been able to negotiate with the French to try and stop them from coming across.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Weirdly, it's because we did the Brexit thing that more came over, because we had a deal with the French, the Dutch and the Belgians to say, don't let them through, create camps, make sure that they're sent back as best they can. So the French stopped them as a matter of course, because we were brothers in Europe kind of thing. But once we pulled out of Europe, the French say they don't want to be in France. They want to go to Britain. Why should we stop them? Why should we, bust a blood vessel or get punched in the face trying to keep these Charlies on the French side? If they want to go to Britain, off you go.
Absolutely.
And I can't blame
the Tories... Sorry, Alan. Yeah, the Tory party I've never voted Tories in a million years, but the Tory party of today is actually nothing like a proper Tory party. They're more like the Greens. Boris with his green agenda, about getting carbon neutral and all that. That's what's putting probably pressure on a lot of gas companies, electric companies, because obviously they try to actively encourage people to buy electric cars, and the batteries need charging up. There's going to be putting more pressure on the grid. What do you think that's? Do you agree with that or not? Or do you think that's probably one of the problems, that everyone's trying to buy electric cars and they're trying charging them up everywhere?
I think ultimately every leader of every country is probably going to have to face the same thing about, bringing down carbon footprints and stuff, because it's a thing now. Internationally, it's a thing, not just in Britain. So I think they're probably all going to be tarred with that kind of brush. The thing that Boris, when he worked for one of the leading newspapers, lied and lied and lied and ultimately got sacked for telling porkies. And then he becomes Prime Minister and he's told lie after lie after lie after lie. And this current situation about parties, he didn't tell the truth.
No.
He didn't tell the truth.
The Sue Gray report, we're never going to hear about the truth of it, and that's going to be watered down when it comes out.
Well, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting when the chief of police, when asked, who are you working for? Are you here working for the people? And they said, no, we work for 10 Downing Street. Well, how are you going to get a fair answer for any inquiry if the people doing it work for the guy that you're investigating? The whole thing's just.
I mean,
dodgy.
people did call for her sacking. I remember, after that poor girl was murdered and that.
Yeah.
And I forgot her name now. The one who, who was killed by the officer.
Yes.
And they were asking for that question, that Dick to resign.
Yes.
And I think Boris stood by and said, no, we'll not. She doesn't need to. I don't know. I think he had something to do with her keeping her in that job. But the stuff that's gone on with that, like, force down there, nobody's like trusting them anymore. Do you know what I mean? People don't feel happy with the way they go on and everything. So I just think that report, when it does come out, it'll just not be worth reading because it'll just be full of rubbish. Do you know what I mean? Full of like different interpretations of what really went on. So it's not going to be of any value to anybody.
It was funny. I was having a conversation today, and I know a lot of people have very different opinions of whether the royals should be there or whether they shouldn't, and that's fair enough. But I just remember the day that the Queen was at her husband's funeral, and I don't know whether you can remember this, but she was sitting there completely on her own, nobody to give her a cuddle, at the hardest time of her life. And you think she was behaving, she was following the rules that we'd all been given. You don't mix, you don't match, even funerals and weddings and stuff. Some of them couldn't go ahead because of the whole COVID restrictions, and she was completely on her own. And whether you're a fan or whether you're not a fan, I did feel sorry for her that day.
I didn't know. She had a mask on, if I remember, didn't you?
That's right.
She had a mask on as well.
She was doing the whole thing, and yet at the same time she was doing that, Boris's missus is having an ABBA party with all of her friends, and you're thinking, who's the mugs here? We've been played for fools for how long do we stay fools? That's the question. But who's going to vote them out, though? Is Labour going to do it? Will the Liberal Democrats do it?
No, I would vote anybody to get these people out now. I've always voted Labour anyway, but I just hope that those people in Blythe, Hartlepool and Redcar come to their senses, because obviously, he's even trying to tempt people that's levelling up. He's going to be putting a little bit of investment in different cities in the West Midlands, maybe up here a little bit in the Northwest. But I think people should come to their senses and vote Labour to get them back out, because Boris is not actually a proper Tory. I don't know what he is. He's a mixture of all sorts, but even people who are actually long Tory voters are embarrassed by him. Do you know what I mean, Alan?
Well, I know there's been a lot of people who are Tories who probably support him and may well even try and get him re-elected next time. To me, Boris has always given the impression that it's Boris for Boris first, and then if what he thinks for himself matches what the country might want, well, that's a bonus. But he always seems to put himself, what he wants to do first, rather than what's the best thing to do with the country. But mind you can label that against most politicians, in fairness. But I just think politically we've been under the thumb screw for the last few years, having to do what we're told, whether we wanted to or whether we didn't want to. And now we're hearing maybe right from the very start we should have learned to live with COVID. And you go, it's a bit late to tell us now after 2.5 years,
Oh, no. Just before I go on, one of my relatives, Marianne, she's in hospital, she says, could you give her a quick shout out because she'll listen to you?
Marianne, get well soon. Is it anything serious? How's she doing?
No, she's all right. It's just a couple of operations that she's had to go through, but she's all right.
Bad enough. Marianne, get out of there as soon as you can and then ruin yourself with chocolate. Okay.
Absolutely. Thanks, Alan.
Thanks, mate. You take care. Bye-bye. So there's Brian. Not a fan of Boris. Got a few emails coming in too. David Johnson said, listening to that, give me a shout to cheer me up. Here's the joke. Did you hear about the cheese factory that exploded in France? There was nothing left but debris. Oh, dear. And Tony's on about Boris. I hate sticking up for the buffoon, but he wasn't involved in the animal evacuation. A billionaire chartered a private aircraft to get them out. They also travelled in the hold, so they didn't take up a single seat. It still doesn't change the fact that he left the interpreters on the tarmac, and I'll never understand why that is. Right, hang on, what's this? Night Owl's Geocaching. I'm not even sure what that is. We'll have a read of it a bit later on. Suzanne says, evening, Alan. I went to see a spinal surgeon. On examination, he said that my hip pain is a separate issue and not referred pain from my back. Had some more x-rays done. I'm waiting for an appointment from the MRI. Then we go from there. Ugliest things. My mum can't stand to see the backsides of any type of monkey, especially the red behinds. Yeah, baboons. I don't like furless cats. They are ugly. Could have put something else in place of cat, but I refrain. And also mushrooms. Ugly, slimy things. Yuck. Oh, on top of a steak, mind. Come on. That's Sue. Also, Tracy's been on. It's a bit of a long shot. I wonder if you could read this out. I work for a home care company, and we really need carers around the South Tyneside area with or without experience, car drivers preferred, but walkers that are prepared to travel will be accepted. With COVID, it's been really hard to get carers lately, and the need for them is getting greater. Plus, with us having to have COVID jabs, we've lost quite a few carers. I'll put my number on the bottom if anybody's interested. It's great pay and paid petrol allowance. Now, I've got that number. What I'm going to do is forward that to Chris. So if anybody's interested, all you got to do is give Chris a call on 0191 488 3188, and Chris has the telephone number. Now, have you got it, Chris? Just give him a thumbs up so that you know that he has indeed got it. 0191 488 3188. We have Jessica next, and she is in Bishop Auckland. Hello, Jessica.
Hello.
Good evening. And how can we help you?
I'm ringing just to talk to you about a fundraiser that I've done for my neighbour.
For your neighbour? What's the situation?
Their daughter was born quite poorly, and they were told originally that she probably wouldn't last a year, and she managed 13 years.
Wow.
But unfortunately, we lost her a couple of weeks ago.
I'm so sorry.
And I wanted to do something nice for the family, because her mum would do anything for anybody. So I've set up a fundraiser on GoFundMe to get a memorial bench and a piece of inclusion jewellery for her and her big sister.
That's a lovely thing. How much does a bench cost then? How much do you have to raise to get a memorial bench?
It varies. We're aiming for about £600, and we're not doing too bad so far.
What are you at present?
We're at £508 last time I checked.
Oh, blimey! So you need less than 100, and you're there pretty much. So
that's it. Yeah.
Night Owls, can we sort this memorial bench out for a beautiful 13-year-old who shouldn't have lived beyond their first year? So what a fighter she must have been. 13.
She really was.
13 years on top of that. That's tremendous. So what's the GoFundMe page under?
It's under Memorial for Chloe Dudley.
Memorial for?
Chloe Dudley.
Chloe Dudley, right.
Yeah.
Memorial for Chloe Dudley. If you go on there, see if you possibly can. That's tremendous. Okay, hey, well, good luck. Fingers crossed. You played a blinder already. You are so nearly there. This is definitely...
We are so close.
I know. Let's see if we can tip it over the line. Fingers crossed. Chloe Dudley. GoFundMe, Chloe Dudley. Jessica, thank you very much, lover.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hey, if we could help in any way. Got a first clue coming, but just before that, piece of music, and it's a good one. But first, let's talk to the band. A lady, Shirley Manson, lead vocalist of a group called Garbage. What a band.
I want to find out everything about you, though. Where were you born?
Edinburgh, Scotland.
Now, that's the posh end, isn't it? Because everybody in Glasgow...
Posh end of what?
Well, everybody in Glasgow always says, they're posh, those Edinburgh people. Capital folk are different to your standard Scot. Is that true?
I don't know if the Glaswegians say it's true. I suppose it is. I'm not going to mess with them.
What was it like? Was it, were you rich? Were you poor?
Somewhere in the middle, really. I think we weren't rich, but we certainly weren't struggling either. My dad was a lecturer. You know, he supported a family of 4, so.
Right. And was it fun? Childhood in Edinburgh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a beautiful city. It's a great place to grow up. So, I was really lucky.
Yeah, and what kind of kid were you? Were you bright? Were you one of these teachers' pets? Were you a bit of a hooligan? What was it?
No, I was sort of an average child, just normal. I mean, I was quite bright, I suppose.
So you were normal then. What happened?
I'm still normal. I'm the most normal person I know.
And how frightening is that?
I know, exactly.
But I would love to hear that creaky noise again. It was this table. Apologies for. It was definitely this table. It was that noise, wasn't it?
It was like a creak. So that's why I thought it might have been the door, but it was like a creak.
It's not that.
No. I don't know what it was then.
It's that table. I think it was like that, wasn't it?
It was like, as you say, someone just sat on it maybe, and you know when it creaks. Oh.
That's what it was.
Weird.
You see that?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Right, dive in. Whatever's here, we're here for you. Feel free to play. Show yourself.
I've got my camera on, so anything that.
But look at that, it's lit up. Why is that lit up? See that?
You haven't even touched it yet.
Haven't touched it.
Oh, in that case, I would definitely put it on. Just to see. There was no one else in the school place, so we locked them out. I've got the key.
Is everyone gone?
Yeah, everyone's gone. I've got the key.
Have you switched all the lights out as well?
The lights are off upstairs. Just there.
That's that creak? Kind of.
Where was it?
I think it was next door.
No.
Did you hear it? You must have heard that.
I heard it.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, there she's off again.
Gwen's gone. Come on, Gwen.
Has anybody here touched the doll?
Touch the doll, she's called Gwen.
Yeah,
Play with Gwen.
You want to play with Gwen?
That sounded like.
It did.
Yeah, the doll. This is the doll. There's a little ball at the bottom there. If you touch it or move past
Make
it,
sure
or
it's
pick it up,
touching Gwen. Yeah.
it will go off like that. That's what it'll do.
That was me doing that. Just to check that. Just to show it's touching the doll.
Did you see that?
What was that?
Just there.
Yeah.
Little dark thing.
Yeah, what was it?
Don't know. It looked about this height. And it just had the corner of my eye. I saw you, and then I looked out the corner of my eye, I saw a little dark thing there. Was that you? It is. It is.
We definitely saw that, mate.
What's your
camera's pointing that way.
Great. What's your name? Dickie. Dickie. Your name's Dickie. Your name's Dickie. It is. There's somebody there called Dickie.
Would that be Richard?
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's see if there's any. $18.4, where Dickie was. It's a point and a half more over there.
There's that door again.
Was that noise there, wasn't it?
Is it through the door? Hang on.
Was that door just open? I was open before. Seriously, was that door open before?
I'm not sure.
That door's opened. That was shut. 100%.
The kitchen.
What is going on here? What is going on here? This is ridiculous already.
What is going on?
I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you.
I want to see it. Yeah.
I just heard a noise there. There's no noise in there at the minute. I heard like a sliding noise, but I thought that was through here. Was anything happening through there?
No, just Kenny thinks the door.
Let's put this in here.
Yeah, put something in there because it's freezing in there. Is that there? Why is there loads of noises coming over this?
Right. Right, let's keep the doors closed.
Right.
You hear footsteps?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I did hear that.
Did you hear that,
Loads of
Tony?
noises in here.
Little bang.
Let's be quiet a minute. Was there? That was it?
That's what it was. Did you hear that, Tony?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this camera would have got it.
If you're putting on a show for us,
Yeah.
make that noise again.
Where'd that come from?
There.
What is going on here?
Thank you. I know that it's irritating, but could you do that again, just to make sure that it just wasn't coincidence? Just make that noise again, please. Frustrating. Look at that, that's still on. I've just switched that off, and yet it's still lit up.
There's like something here, like.
We'll get the SLS camera out.
You can feel it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's catch.
Oh, chip. Look.
Gwen's just gone off.
Gwen's just gone.
I need to see the screen.
Sorry.
Yeah, just so you
When
can see.
look cold on there, like it was last time.
Ooh, it never usually picks the doll up.
Oh.
It's not supposed to pick the doll up.
That is ridiculous.
Last time we had it, but didn't pick the doll up.
Pick the doll up
Any of
at
the
all.
dolls or nothing like that. Do you think something inside the doll?
Could be, because it's gone off that
Possible.
many times.
It's possible. Let's see if this.
It doesn't usually pick the doll up. That's
No.
so strange.
Does it pick us up?
No.
It picks people up. Yeah, it'll pick them up.
Eventually.
Right.
This is where there's noise, so.
It's freezing in here.
It is better.
This is the home of Alan Robson's Night Owls.
With the voice of the North.
Greatest Hits Radio.
Okay, time for your first clue. 4 clues. You've got to identify whose hits. 4 clues. Each clue will be a song title, and you have to work out the name of the artist, band, singer, duo, trio, etc., choir, whatever it could be. The first clue is this. The bad behavior of young footballers is proof of this. The bad behavior of young footballers is proof of this. That's a song title. Tricky one, that. The other 3, you'll get it from the other 3, guaranteed, especially the 4th one. Right, clue 1 down. Let's talk to Neil. He's on the line, and he happens to be in Bedlington. Hello, Neil.
Hello, Alan. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. Are you all right?
Yes, Alan, I am all right.
Oh, well, that's good news. What you been up to then, Neil?
I've been watching the Australian Open again, Alan, and Rafael Nadal won the day.
He did. He was crying, bless him. 21 victories. It's amazing.
Yes, yes, he did, Alan, and I had a lovely Christmas. I got 2 lovely bow ties.
Brilliant. I bet you look fine and handsome.
Yes, I got 2 bow ties. I got a puzzle. I got hoodies, wearing some T-shirts and that, and the tartan jumper stitched in. I did very well. I got chocolates and that, Alan. Did you have a lovely Christmas?
I had a quiet one, but it was very, very nice because, as you know, doing night owls when we were right across the week, we didn't have much time for.
And your birthday's on a Saturday this year.
All right, good to know. Brilliant. Look forward to it.
Yes, and my birthday's on your wedding anniversary, the 26th of May.
27th. Whenever you tell me that, I always write it down because I'll never remember if it wasn't for you, Neil. Thank you very much.
We've got that Easter eggs in already, Alan. I had a lovely time.
That's good. Good.
So I've been all over. I was at Live yesterday.
Right.
And just had a quiet day. The day that wind was terrible on Friday night, Alan.
Yeah, it was very strong. Very strong. But yeah, the building that you're in didn't fall down or have any problems, did it?
No, but sorry to hear about Bodie, Alan. It's sad.
It's been a while now, but yeah, absolutely. What a star. What a star.
I know.
He's still with us in spirit. I've got no question.
Yes, I tell you what, we're going to have an extra bank holiday this year, Alan.
Is that? Oh, when's that then?
About June for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee.
Yes. So will you be having like a big do? Will you be having a dance or a disco or something?
We probably will, because I'm having a disco at my centre, me bow tie, on the 16th of February, 2 days after Valentine's Day. We're having a New Year party and a Valentine's Day all in one.
All in one. That's so that we're miles away from all the COVID stuff, I suppose.
Yes, because I've been at the Hook last month because we're doing the pipes and altering it a bit and putting it all right, the new pipes at Mulberry Day Centre, because I'm back there the morning. I'm getting the jigsaw puzzle and some colouring in books. So
you're set. You're ready to go.
Yes, so I'm set as well. And Alex, the DG, Pracky Bags, that's the race. Still wants to bury a cowboy boots, Alan.
You'll have to catch me first. But that's lovely. Giving me love, Neil, and thank you very much for calling. It's lovely to
Can I say me hellos, please?
You always can, of course. Go for it.
Gina in Bedlington, Irene and Blythe, the Cultivans in Linemouth, Linda from Barrisford, Alex the DG, Pracky Bag, Sharon Parkson, Cramlington, and Linda from Barrisford, and all the night, and Davy, and all the night owls and Irene, and all the night owls in the world rock.
Thank you, Neil. There you go. There's Neil. 01914883188. So we asked you for songs, sick note songs. Got a great one from Karen. There's a rash and it's itching. What am I going to do? There's a rash and it's itching. Brilliant. Chilling You Softly with his song. Dock Around the Clock. Fool on the Pill. Getting some good ones. Build Me Up, Buttocks Up. Really? And if you can do better, do better. Songs that are to do with sick notes, doctors, hospitals, that kind of stuff. Have a think. First clue is in. Let's keep going. Christine's with us next from New York in North Shields. Hello, Christine.
Hi, Alan.
Hello. What can we do for you tonight, Christine?
Well, I asked if I could come on to inform you about a new, this is not for you, obviously, you don't need it, weight loss group.
Oh, no, I could do with a bit. I'm working on the belly as we speak. So tell us about it, a weight control group. Where exactly is it?
Well, it's all over. What it is, it was 2 girls from a well-known weight loss group program.
Right.
They've got together and started a new group called Choose to Lose.
Choose to Lose. Very good. Good
now,
name.
It's OOSE with the number 2, then LOSE.
Right.
They've got a page on Facebook. They started in July last year.
Right.
And there's about 37 venues already.
Wow.
They're all over the northeast.
Right.
Stockton, Amble, Blythe, Buckinghamshire, Kent.
What?
Yeah.
Crazy. This
And
is great.
2 local girls, and I think they've done absolutely amazing.
So, whereabouts are they in Blythe, Amble, and so the ones in our patch? Where the Blythe, Amble, Stockton? Anywhere else?
I've got a full list I could put on your Facebook page.
Do
if
it,
I can.
please. Yeah, of course you can.
I will do, because they're all over the place, and just send me a list.
Right.
Now, I helped with this other weight loss group for about 17 years.
Right.
And I've gone over to the Choose to Lose one, and I helped out with 2. And one of them was that North Shield venue that you did in the ghost hunt.
All right. Yes, absolutely.
The Memorial Centre.
Yes,
You know, there's got over 2,000 members. The 2 people that started is Haley French and Elaine Rudd.
Right.
And they've got about 20 odd years experience between them.
Tremendous.
If anybody wanted to know any information or anything like that, you just go on the Facebook group, and I'm sure they would answer.
I'm sure they will. That's tremendous.
And you know,
I know. Well done then. What's the difference between what they do and what the bigger groups do?
It's calorie control.
How you control your weight?
The other big ones that they tend to go outside is the food as well. You know, they're going to wellness, they're going to all different types of things. There's not a lot, you don't have it. All the other things companies have loads to sell in the meetings.
Yeah.
They don't.
Right.
They don't. Not at all.
Right.
It's very friendly. And it's really good. I enjoy it. It feels like we're getting back to the original weight loss programs without all this.
Yeah, before it got corporate.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I understand.
You know, and they're 2 lovely girls, you know, and I just thought I would like to promote this for them, and hopefully they can get even bigger.
Yeah, well, why not? I
So
hope
they're
so
doing
too.
Really well.
So check it out. Give us the name again. Choose to
Choose
lose.
to lose. Yeah.
Choose to lose, but the 2's a number. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christine. I hope it helps. Thank you for ringing in.
Okay, no problem.
Sure.
Bye
Bye-bye. Stephen Rogers says, can you wish my daughter Amber a happy 23rd birthday from the Rogers clan? Brilliant. All the best. Absolutely. Few other things have come in. This one arrived from Emma. Could you put some mental health helpline numbers up, please? As one of the YouTube Night Owl family members, Joe, is in hospital after attempting suicide the other night. His wife used his log on to inform us. Joe knew we would worry about him. I know he'll be listening if he can from hospital. Daft thing to do, Joe. You're far more important than that. And think of all these people that love you. We've got a couple of numbers. There's one that is called Sane Lane, 0300 304 7000. That's 0300 304 7000. If you're feeling like you're going to harm yourself, there's a prevention helpline, 0800 689 5652. 0800 689 5652. We've got probably 30 numbers here. If anybody needs them, just ring Chris and he'll go through the ones we've got and try and help you out. If you need it, call us. We're happy to help in any which way that we can. Tony, trusty taxi driver, says, a lady asked me to get out of my car. And I said, just pull the black handle on the door. Her reply was, here, son, I'm a pensioner. I don't know anything about opening doors. I wonder if she's like the Queen with a minion walking in front of her everywhere she goes. She knew that if I'm going to get in your taxi, you're going to open the door for me. Blimey, what do people expect these days? Pete from Auburn says, Alan, it gets me how Boris is not suspended while he's being investigated. Anyone else in that kind of situation would have been. Politicians should remember they work for the people, not the other way round. And I have been sent a call, sent details of a call from a man called David, who says, I've caught a ghost in my home. And he sent a picture of his nice comfy chair and a work, I think it's a bit of a running machine or a bike or something at the side. And directly in the middle is a white figure. And we'll share it with you if we can, Tony. Can we do that? And we'll put it up on screen if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. Can you see the figure of just below the handle of it? It's a figure of a human being. Looks like a man. Let's talk to David and find out all the ins and outs. Hi, David.
Hi.
Hello. What a capture. So, why did you take a photo of your chair?
Well, I'm going to Lanchester Community Centre tomorrow.
Right. Uh-huh.
And I'm going to, and so I was just watching one the other night, and so I'm going to see what I can see there.
Right. Okay. Brilliant. I hope you.
And I thought I would just put this on my phone and check it out while I'm here.
Right, and it's brilliant, but that is a figure. Is your house supposed to be haunted? Have you heard any stories?
Nope.
That's
a
brilliant. I don't know what else that could be because
I've seen 4 more ghosts in his house.
Right. Well, like what? What's the most vivid one you've seen then, David?
I don't know. Just I heard someone say, "I don't like the lights."
Right. So you've heard somebody say, "I don't like the lights." And obviously this is a figure in your house. Was it a male voice, a female voice?
Male voice.
Right.
I would say about 40.
Gotcha. And this is in Durham, which of course is an old city at the best of times. So there'll be plenty of tales to be told about the site where you are. It's fascinating. Great shot though, and fingers crossed you catch something tomorrow. Anything else we can do for you, David? In the meantime,
I would just like to say I'm a first-time caller.
Hey, that's fantastic. Thank you for coming on. Great talking to you, David.
Right.
Good luck tomorrow. Bye-bye. So he's off to Lanchester to following off us. Love it when people do that. Let's hope they let him in, have a mooch around. Dominique, who is very hot indeed, says, when you were in Lanchester the other night, we passed as you were just starting and a massive white orb floating from the roof. How about that? That's tremendous. And obviously not anything that we experienced, but the fact that you got it, that's tremendous. 0191 488 3188. Trevor's on the line. He is in Gateshead. Hello, Trevor.
Hello, all right, mate?
Good, man. What are you talking about tonight, then?
I'm talking about the weather, mate, firstly.
What's happened where you are? Had any difficulties with it?
I made all tiles above me gutters come off all the way along. I've got a ridge tile off, and now the wind's gone mental again.
And the longer those things are off, the easier it is for the wind to get under the other tiles, if you know what I mean. If one's off,
that's it, mate. It's like the top of the estate. I mean, I've got proper tiles on my roof,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dear, what a mess.
Well, that's it. Like the roofs at the top of the estate are like felt, and one of them's peeled off and like went straight across the main road.
Oh, right.
Nah, I'm thankful it hasn't rained very much in it, because I thought if it's gonna rain me, it's gotta come in the roof hole, you know what I mean?
It could do. It certainly could do that. If it does, the first thing you should do is get up in the attic and see if you can put buckets down or anything until you can get the tiles put back. I mean, it might be that no rain comes through, but I'd have a look just to be on the safe side.
Wait, I've got a number there, in case I got a leakage or we got a leakage, you know what I mean?
Right.
But,
yeah.
I mean, I think the rain's past all, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's the wind's whipping up now again.
No, it's as soon as one storm disappears, now another one comes along within about 2 or 3 days. It's not exactly helpful. Mind you, I would imagine any numbers you've got to fix leaks and tiles and stuff, there'll be a queue after this second one.
Oh, definitely, mate. I mean, apparently that was a major incident declared in Durham and Northumberland again.
Yeah. So
poor buggers, you know what I mean? They've only just recovered from like 10 weeks ago.
Yeah. And a few of them haven't had any electricity for a couple of days as well.
Exactly. You know,
scary stuff.
But honestly, mate, it's screaming inside my window. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
It's shocking, and I don't even live. I'm like inland. I'm in Gateshead, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It's not like you're on a barren hillside somewhere. You're right in the middle of town, so.
Oh, I'm on the top of the hill, you know.
Yeah.
But like I say, at least I'm inland. But it's just, honestly, man, I'm like, oh, yeah, man. Like I say, I went up the shops yesterday, and the council and anybody's come out to clear this roof off the road. So there's like a full roof across the main road that comes through my estate. And like the bus is still running through it, so it's just driving over the top of it.
Oh.
And cars are driving over it and all that because nobody's moving it, mate.
That's not helpful, is it?
Unbelievable, man. You know what I mean? It's like a call over beforehand on about Boris Johnson. I mean, there's another thing that he just doesn't give a crap about now, man, does he?
Well, certainly not about much northern. You wanted to talk about Newcastle as well, Trev?
Well, it wasn't Newcastle, really, mate. I'm buzzing about the couple of signings we're getting today.
Right, yeah.
Right, Bruno, the Brazilian from Lyon.
Yes.
I'm glad we're getting him. Like, I'm not too sure about that Dan Byrne, but as long as he's better than
they got at Newcastle. That's it.
You know, what I was ringing up about, like on the football side, was mate, Sunderland.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe they sacked him. Like,
no, it was a surprise to me. But mind you, the results lately have been a bit ropey, haven't they?
And I would, Alan, man. I mean, I hate Sunderland. You know what I mean? It's football rivalry, you know what I mean? I'm a Geordie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's no personal, it's just a football rivalry, but I can't believe they've sacked him. I think he's been doing a good job. I mean, the second top of the league. I mean, I know they got beat 6-0 yesterday, but you're like, how are man?
No,
who they gonna get now? Like, do they want Jermaine Defoe or manager to me?
I don't know. It does seem, you know, if you're gonna sack somebody who's top of the league,
you've got to have somebody in the pipeline
in your back pocket. That's the thought. But who's going to take it in the third tier? You know, which big name is going to get it? I thought Lee Johnson as a manager, he's
doing a good job, wasn't he?
Probably the big. A name big enough, you know, to take him on to the next division. But
who's going to do that for him?
I don't know. Be interesting to see.
Honestly, I was shocked, me, you know, when I mean, I was laughing me little boobies off last week when I got beat 6-0. Honest.
Yeah, but sacking somebody when you're top of the pops is crazy,
exactly,
isn't it?
That's what I mean, mate. That's what I'm saying, Al. I was laughing me boobs off last week. And then I'm looking on Sky this morning, I get through Sunderland sacked Lee Johnson. I was like,
what? I know. And I know 6-0's 6-0's never a good score if it's against you, but sometimes you get a blip, you know.
We've been pasted off in 5-1 and all that before, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, of course.
We didn't sack one manager.
Well, mind you, we've sacked a few, haven't we? In fairness.
we would.
Do you remember that famous Italian manager that Newcastle had, Sam Allardyce? He didn't last very long, did he?
Can you not remember Julio Giorgio who used to play forward? Harry Enfield's mate. Julio Giorgio.
Brilliant. Hey, good talking to you, Trevor. Thanks for coming on, mate.
I need what I mean, right?
All the best. Bye-bye. 01914 488 3188. Let's have another star, because the stars come out at night on Alan Robson's Night Owls. Greatest Hits Radio Northeast. We heard from Garbage a little bit earlier on, the fabulous Shirley Manson, who is tremendous. Well, a band came, had a hit, and then went, never to be heard of again, but the song is great. The band was called Deep Blue something, so I talked to them as well.
Texas is bigger than most of the countries here in Europe.
That's true.
So to succeed just in Texas is pretty good.
Yeah, and we did that for like 2 years. I mean, just constantly touring, pounding out Texas, just play in all the college towns, and that's plenty, you know, to keep you busy, and plenty, you know, where you can make enough money to pay your rent, and
it also tightens your sound up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. It was good for us, that's for sure.
I know this is probably the most asked question when you travel around the world, but the name, where did it come from?
Oh, geez, that is actually. I wish there was like some grand story to that. No, the truth of that story is we were called Leper Messiah very early on.
Yes.
And in America, obviously, this is so frustrating. Instead of people saying, "Oh, that must be a David Bowie line," you know, they must, you know, dig David Bowie. You know, we can appreciate that, whatever.
Yeah.
They thought it was
like a thrash metal band or something.
Yeah, it was a B-side to a Metallica song.
Oh dear.
And so people were thinking we were like this hardcore heavy metal band, and as such a young band, you know, it's just it just wasn't working. It was like we couldn't get over that little hill or whatever with people, and so we had a song called Deep Blue Something. Actually, Todd said, "Hey, what should we call this?" And I said, "I don't know, Deep Blue Something," expecting him to figure, you know, to put in the last adjective, and it just never happened.
No. Absolutely. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, Kenny. Do you want to go first because you got your camera on? See if there's anything in the air. Come on, Ken. Hang on. Did you move that chair?
I've just moved it now.
So how did we get in the last time?
Oh, God, why was it there?
Because I didn't move the chair to leave.
Well, how was that chair moving?
I heard a swishy noise the last time I was in, but it wasn't like a chair noise. Anyway, let's have a walk down here. Tony?
Apparently the SLS camera gave Gwen a leg back. So it had a full
it did?
leg.
No.
How weird.
I just realised that's correct.
So whatever maybe inner had
A spirit's
had
still
two
in one
legs.
piece.
Yeah.
That is very weird.
Now they said that they've had experiences next to the piano. Nothing there at the minute. At least we've had stuff already happening. I got a bit of an anxious flutter in my chest.
Yeah, I've got like there's something going to happen any minute.
I'm feeling it. I don't know why, but I'm feeling it.
This is Lumen, the first device for hacking your metabolism. With just one breath, Lumen tells you what you're currently burning for.
Not seeing anything, Tony.
No. Oh, there's that noise.
What was that?
That's that table again.
Why is it doing that?
Because you put the chair back, maybe. Oh, I tell you what, let's go out and try that gym place. Because there's mirrors in there, isn't there?
I think that's a new build on the side.
It doesn't matter. It's still on the same ground.
You said the haunted places were the ones upstairs.
Well, we got to do that too, though, haven't we? But do we do it with this?
Well, we can just show around with that, and then we'll use other things, just so it doesn't get too.
Well, let's go back round.
Repetitive. Give us a scan of the place with that. It might be a good idea.
Definitely put in there.
has got a leg. Look.
Oh, you joking me, man?
Did we close that?
Yeah.
We definitely closed that, man.
We did. How's Gwen? I want to see if Gwen's got. Yeah. She's got her leg back.
We definitely closed. I'll close it again.
Definitely got her leg back, hasn't she? Look. That's 2 legs. Yeah.
That is the weirdest.
She's dancing. Are you dancing, Gwen?
Why is it not setting the thing off then?
I don't know.
But it has a lot of times tonight.
No, absolutely.
Especially when you're on that like that, though.
Come on.
Go on, you can kick that ball in, surely.
Come on. Come on, Gwen.
Go and kick it.
Come on now.
Is anything here? Make the ball go off?
Yes, come on, let's do that.
The fact that door opened
That's Kenny.
by itself. Again.
I can't believe that. Can you see it though? Look at that. She's got 2 legs, clearly. That's just amazing. Good on you, Gwen. Good luck to you.
Let's just check that chair's in place and stay there.
I pushed it right under, mind. Right, so how do we get, what's the quickest way for
This
us
way, out that door there.
Get up the stairs, up that door?
Yeah.
Because there's some lights on here, mind. Right. Oh, there's a meeting room through here. What the hell? Some German lesson going on.
That's it, the Kreistensinger.
I'm fairly sure that wasn't remotely German, but
It was.
gave over.
Das ist der Klassensinger.
Hmm.
Der Mutter ist dick. Der Mutter ist fat. Really
You
useful.
can go first. Really handy. You're coming up behind me, Tony, just so you can keep an eye on this.
Yeah. I look to see Kenny at the minute, I think.
That's why I'm waiting till he gets up there. Right. Wherever you like, wherever supernatural Ted is.
Ted's in the conference. There's so many of these. In the conference. Keep it open.
Yeah.
I'll put Ted right in the corner here. Ted's there. Yeah. Ted's down the corner.
Got you. Ted's off. Did you touch him, Kenny?
Ted's. No, I didn't touch him. When you walk in,
You saw it on the edge.
See, it's not getting Ted.
It's not featuring Ted at all.
how's that then?
But it never got Gwen last time.
Well, how's it done it now?
How weird. So it's obviously not looking at the human figure.
It is if you lift it higher.
All right. Maybe you were just too close there.
Bizarre. Right. Come on. There's Kenny. Tony, you don't have a shape, apparently.
But Ted has.
But Ted, well, just when you lift away, you have. Actually, that ball, to me, I think is. That's not happening. You really got to give it a shoogie. You stopped. So is that all the up places or the other?
Move across there.
Right, let's go across there then. Toilet.
This is real life conversation with the voice of the North.
This is Night Owls with Alan Robson.
Call 0191 488 3188.
Greatest Hits Radio.
So keep your calls coming in. We still want all of the ugliest things you've ever seen in your life. We want some of them coming on the show too. What is the ugliest thing? We've had a few more sent in. My angry boil, says Elaine. She's got an angry boil at the moment. There's no such thing as a boil that looks nice, though, is there? Also, hanging pails, litter louts, ski pants, and if they're the ones with the little bit of elastic under the foot, they're horrible. And sometimes the knee fills out, so they don't even look smart. So I agree with that. And also, snotting. When people snot on a pavement, you know, they hold the top of their nose and set fire to as much mucus. Speaking of mucus, we've had a few more sick note songs. Mucus is my first love. John Mayall's classic, of course. I'm your virus, I'm your fire. Bile when your heart is aching. But probably the best one so far has literally just come in from James, who's picked the song from Tears for Fears, Gout. Gout, let it all out. These are the aches I can do without. Come on. Brilliant. Gout by Tears for Fears. Brilliant. Now, a little bit earlier on, we heard that Joe did something daft and tried to take his life earlier on. So I've had a little flick around some of the stuff that we've put together. And this is a poem called Don't Quit. And if you are in a situation, and I know a lot of you have had really super tough times, just have a listen to this because it does really make sense. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't quit. Life is strange with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a fellow turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a fair and faltering man. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup. And he learned too late when night came down how close he was to the victor's crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt, and you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. It's when things seem worst that you mustn't quit. And I absolutely believe that. Anyway, let's crack on. We have Richie, who is with us in Newcastle. Hi, Richie.
Hello.
Hello, mate. What can we do for you tonight?
I've just been wanting to raise a little bit of awareness about myself and the awesome work that I've been doing and autism and things like that.
Okay, tell me everything.
Well, we probably don't have enough in the show to tell everybody everything, but 3 years ago I quit my job because I found out I was diagnosed with autism.
Right.
And I decided to embrace it the best that I could. So I phoned the teacher up and I said, look, so I was working in a school at the time, that I don't want to come back. And I opened a business called Awesometistic, which obviously you're an autistic person, and I just thought it was a little bit awesome. So we decided to go with Awesometistic.
Right.
And since then, I've been helped about 3,000 families. I won an award for the National Hero Autism Awards. I drive a big yellow Mustang. The vision is that because, to be honest, we talked about mental health before. I've done a lot of self-harming, gambling, suicide. I've actually got a book out which is called The Art of Weaning in the Sink, because obviously we've been such a late diagnosis. I thought I was a freak for 34 years.
Right.
And that took a massive mental health turn when I got in my 20s. And then obviously not having an understanding for myself, I decided to go down the route to find out what was going on. And when they told us I had autism, I burst into tears, and I thought, you know what it is, I'm going to make sure no little one ever feels like the way that I did. feeling so isolated and alone. So I now go out now and I try and make the little ones to talk about their own autism, because everybody with autism is different. But I just want these little kids to share their own insight into their own world, to try and teach people that it is different for everybody. And as long as everybody's voicing that, then it could be a step forward.
So what do you actually do? Because I've been sent your website where there's a picture of the car, which is very nice, with awesome tistic along the side. What do you actually do then? You go to schools and talk to kids, or what exactly is it?
So what it is I went into his garage and I says, look, I've got autism and I need a supercar to go into that school so I can show that kid that's got autism in the class that people with autism are awesome, to try and get them to see a little bit of positive in their life.
Right.
So I did that and I was successful. I got sponsorship for that car and I drive it everywhere with us. I take it into school and I do one-to-one sessions. I do group sessions with the staff. I do parent sessions, and I explain a little bit about what my life's been like and what I felt isolated and how I felt like freaking a weirdo all these times. And just to be, because I've got a sensory processing disorder as well, so I explain what that felt like in school, and I give them a really big insight into my own world to try and get them to start thinking a little bit different, so then they can hopefully try and get the children that are in the school with diagnoses, on the way to get a diagnosis, to open up their minds and open up their voice and start voicing their own needs to try and protect everybody's mental health.
That's a lovely thing. And congratulations on all the help you've given so many people in the past. Sounds like you've done a great job.
I'm trying my best. I've got a few new. I've just actually, one of the biggest things that we did through lockdown was I was working with the police. And what it was is I was simulating arrests where I was getting put into a cell and I was getting put into to where you would check in at the custody and things like that. Right. And one of the big outcomes that we got was that they weren't asking the question when people were getting arrested and down the custody for questioning if they had autism. So one big change that I know is on the system now is that no matter if it was me, you, or anybody got arrested, they will have to ask a question: do you have autism / are you autistic? Right. And if they answer yes or no, then obviously it rules out. I'm obviously out of control what happens after that, but I am aware that if they say yes, certain people come and ask them and talk to them about their needs and if there's anything they can do to help. So
that's great. Yeah, it's positive changes everywhere. There you go. That's tremendous. So if people want to get in touch with you or they want to use your services, what do they do? How do they find you then, Richie?
Just follow us on Facebook on Autistic. You can see all of the work. I document everything that I do, the places that I've been, and just contact us through there. It's Autistic. Spell awesome in the way that you would say it, and then Tistic is TISTIC at the end. And then obviously if it's schools or if it's Senko people or anybody like that. But one of the big things we're looking for at the minute is sponsorship for the next call, because obviously the sponsorship runs out after a certain time.
Right.
And so we have the next, 6 months to try and find a new sponsorship. So that's what we're on a mission to do.
So if there's any garage that would like to come forward and give you another vehicle, that'd be great. Okay, if we get any whispers at all, Richie, we'll give you a call. And thanks very much for ringing in. We appreciate your time.
No, I appreciate it. Take care.
Thanks, man. Bye-bye. So there he is, Richie. Awesome tistic. One or two more. Another great one. I think James has started us off with gout, let it all out. In the navel, do you get a lot of fluff? In the navel, it's hairier than me chuff. That's, I tell you, there's a... It's poetry out there, you guys. Well done. Anything by Kylie Minogue. Oh dear. Rock Around the Pox. Give Me All Your Measles instead of Give Me All Your Lovin'. Liver, Come Back to Me. I'm Singing in the Pain. Booby Nights. Any more sick note songs? You can do better. Give me your best shot if you can. Ring, email, WhatsApp. Get it through to me any which way you can. 0191 488 3188. Last week, we heard that DJ John was very, very poorly. He had something that we thought was a heart attack. Well, he's back. DJ John from Waka. Hello, John.
Hi, Alan. How are you keeping there, sir?
Don't worry about me. I'm champion. More about you. What happened, John?
Well, my friend was on Paul last week. He was telling us about it, and I heard it. What had happened, Alan? I had went along to my local hive because I remember when I got made redundant from my old job because I used to work for the supermarket, didn't I?
I do.
I used to be a cleaner.
Well. That's right.
And we all got made redundant. Plus, my name was in the line, so we got made redundant. You see. So what happened? I come home and everything. And I use my local hive, you know, to do job search and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, on the Monday, I had a bit of indigestion, you know, on the Monday. And I took a bit of Gaviscon, you know, on the Monday just to see if it would shift it.
Yes, right.
It moved it, Alan. And on a Tuesday, when I woke up, I felt a bit wobbly. And I was a little bit wobbly. I said, oh, well, it might just be the Gaviscon, you know, just working all the time.
Right.
And then on the Wednesday, when I got up, I felt this almighty pain in my stomach, you know. And it was like in my chest as well.
Right.
And well, I thought, you know, we're panicking because I was panicking upstairs. You see, when I was I thought it was my heart, you know.
Right. Yeah,
and when I was panicking, it was just me panicking, you know. And then I couldn't get me breath and everything, you know. When I felt like a hard like pain down by your belly button.
Right.
And what had happened, I thought, yeah, me, you know. And I was sitting there, and my niece heard the like my pain shouting, you know, for help.
Yeah.
So what happened? They went to the medical centre where I live, getting one of them things you put over for the air breathing, you know, when you breathe through.
Yes.
The mask thing.
Yeah.
I forgot. Insimulator is a simulator then? Like an insimulator thing where you put over your mouth to make you breathe.
Close enough, right?
Yeah. Well, anyway, and then what happened? The lady at the medical centre said it's not that he needs, it's an ambulance. So what happened when they come back? My mum phoned an ambulance and my niece, you know, and the ambulance men come and they done the test on us in the house and everything, and then they took us to the RVI hospital in Newcastle.
Right.
And they got us up there and everything. They took us in the room. They couldn't find a vein and everything because I was hard to find, you know, the vein to take some blood.
Right, yeah.
And what had happened, it was for the CTC scan.
Right.
And they couldn't find a vein, so they tried all night and everything. And then what happened from there, I got took to the ward, you know, just to like settle in.
Yeah.
And then the nurses turned around and said, you'll be going down to theatre that night. So I pulled it, they had a gown on. So they took us to theatre that night, you know, and I didn't know what was happening, you know.
Right.
And when I got out in the theatre and everything, they put a needle in me back, you know. And then they said that stuff and you were put you to sleep. I didn't know anything, Alan.
Right.
I didn't know anything. I just went out like a light, you know. I just didn't know anything.
Did they
and
not,
then I
did they not tell you what the operation was for, John?
They might tell us in the letter when I take it to the GP, you know, because I've never looked in the letter, you know, what they give us from my GP.
Right.
They give us a nice letter, but it's personally, you know, till me GP sees us.
Right.
You know, the practice nurse.
Yeah.
So I've left it sealed up, Alan, you know, because that's personally, you know.
Right.
And they'll probably might tell us, you know.
Right. I
And
hope so.
like I see, Alan, I got down, like I say, when I come back from theatre in the recovery room, you know, I started recovering everything.
Right.
And then after a couple of days, they took us to the ward and everything.
Right.
And it was horrible, Alan, for an ulcer. I was getting like needles put in my hand, you know, for antibiotics to run in your arm.
Yes.
And like I say, I was getting different needles and everything, Alan. But instead of putting it in my hand, Alan, for the vein, I woke up the next morning, my arm was like a balloon. So I had put it in the arm, not the vein.
Oh, that's awful. That's awful.
And it was really painful, you know, so I had to ring the buzzer. And she says we'll put you on antibiotics, you know, and remove the zip, the drips, you know. And like I say, when I was up there, I was getting all these tablets every day and stuff like that, you know, to kill the bacteria and stuff like that, you know.
Right.
And what had happened, I was enjoying the food in there. They were giving you bits of food.
Right.
But she come round. She said, "Have you used the toilet this morning?" I said, "I haven't." So the next day, I must have used the toilet about 8 or 9 times.
Oh, and,
like they must have give us some like laxative or something, you know, to shift the food.
Yeah, to move it on.
Move it on and everything. So what I was doing in my bedroom, you know, to keep because they were giving you like an injection for the blood clot, you know, in the arm every day because when you're lying in bed and moving around the ward, you weren't doing much.
Right.
So the next couple of days, I got told I could go walking along the wards and stuff like that.
Right.
And people were saying, "Is that DJ John?" I says, "It is." So I've got recognised, you know, and stuff like that. And like I say, Alan, that's most of what I was doing, you know.
So
And,
you're going to find out more though from your practice nurse or doctor when you take that in.
Yeah, the practice nurse is going to take the clips out on Tuesday.
Right.
She's given us some like dressings and all that, and like a pair of scissors where they're going to take the stitches out.
Right.
And I'm going to ask her, like, is she going to come out and change them, or I have to go back to the surgery, to get them changed?
Yeah.
Stuff like that, Alan.
But it was scary for you though, John.
It was scary, Alan, because I've never been through like this before, because I eat sensible food, Alan, and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And this was bacteria had built up in my stomach, and then it burst it and it made a hole in my bowel.
Oh, dear.
That's how I couldn't get me. That's how I couldn't get me breath, on the stairs.
Right. Yeah.
But it's frightening, Alan, because I thought that was the end. I thought that was it. It really panicked us. You know what I mean?
No, that was when you panicked. A panic attack's very much like a heart attack as well, because your whole chest seizes up. So that's what
happened,
that was
darling.
all about. Oh, what a shame!
And when I was getting when I was trying to breathe, the hole in my bowel must have been must have been it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And when I got put into the ward that night when everybody had looked at us and everything, took blood and everything.
Yeah.
And I got put into the ward and everything, and he just took us down to theatre and said emergency surgery.
What a shock! I bet that was a shock for you as well, because you're thinking hopefully you'll get an injection or some tablets that'll put you right. And then they find out you're going to be operated on.
Yeah, but I don't drink, I don't smoke, Alan. And I keep myself nice and fit and everything, and eat plenty of fruit and veg and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the reckon it was in the stomach, back of the stomach, just behind the skin. Like a bacteria.
Last thing you'd expect, isn't it?
Yeah. And like I say, Alan, that's a full story, But what I've come on to do as well is thank everybody at Greatest Hits Radio, yourself and Tony and is it Steve? Is it Tony?
Chris and Tony. Yeah.
I've come on to thank everybody at Great Hits Radio, Alan Roxton, Tony and Chris.
Hey, no worries.
I've come on to thank the people at the recovery place at Ward 38 where I come from the operation.
Uh-huh.
And I've come on to thank everybody at Ward 46 in the RVI. Jill's the sister, because I met Jill the sister and everything.
Right.
And what I would like to do to finish off, Alan, I would like to thank Chantel, my niece, because she's been bringing up fruit and everything, and clean sheets and everything, and stuff like that. And before I finish, Alan, I would like to thank my niece, my nephew, my sister, and my mum for doing all the meals and everything, all day and every day, and stuff like that, Alan.
But you deserve it. All the best, John. Get well soon, mate.
You're doing a wonderful job.
And
Alan, before I go, can I send my best wishes to all the listeners? What's been on Twitter? Is it Twitter? Has they been asking about it?
They have.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
They've been asking about us, all the listeners and stuff like that, and all the well wishers. I just like to thank everybody who's been in care for us, Alan.
No worries, John. Just get well, mate. That's the most important thing.
Well, Alan, I'm going to try and pull around. I think it'll take about 5 weeks to pull around.
Right. Just take it easy.
I just take it easy, Alan. But like I say, I've come on to thank everybody. I think everybody's amazing.
Well, that's great. All the best, John. Thanks for ringing.
And I thank, and before I go, can I thank Paul and Audrey and everybody who's in New Big and Hole?
You can, and you just did. Thank you very much. So there is DJ John. He's getting better. We had a lot of people who were very, very much concerned about him. Not at all surprised. Some more songs. The Prostate of Independence. There's a Donna Summer classic. Rupture by Blondie. I'd Like to Move It, Constipation song. Pump Up the Hamstring. Ricket Man. Oh, blimey, that's going back into the past. If you got any more, share Little Red Booster. There's a current one. 0191 488 3188. Get some more of those sick note songs in. We're going to take a quick tune now, and then we've got Edwin coming up in Gateshead after we've spoken to the Blue Tones. Blimey, we don't play the Blue Tones often enough. Some of their tunes are sensational. And I talked to the band about touring.
Touring? Strength of the band?
It can be, depending on getting into your stride. I really like touring. You do have to get a bit of momentum going.
Yeah, and also it's quite hard work depending on the size of the tour. And I would imagine you're being offered quite reasonably sized tours these days.
Here in this country, yeah, they seem to be getting.
How far afield have you gone with your music?
We just come back from Australia and Japan just recently. We did them in about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Well, you must have time to see much. My goodness.
Not really, no. But Japan, Australia was a little bit more laid back, and it was the first time we'd been there.
Yeah, good.
So it was excellent, yeah.
I always get the impression it's a bit like the travel program on TV. Look, go there, do your stuff, get out.
Yeah.
And then you're on to the next kind of thing.
Yeah, it is a bit. But Japan, it's like 4th or 5th time we've been there. So we know Tokyo quite well now.
Right, you're established. Are you eating sushi?
I've tried it.
I tried it once, but never again, I don't think. A lot of their food is the same as well.
Yeah.
Try it once.
The food is a bit of a black spot.
Yes. So how do you is there such a thing as a fin chip shop in Tokyo?
No, McDonald's or something like that.
McDonald's and Wendy's and stuff like that.
Standard.
Apparently there are a couple of traditional
Worldwide
kind of
standard,
Western themed pubs there, but they sound a bit nasty.
Yes, it's frightening.
They just don't cook anything. We went to an Italian restaurant in Japan, and there's a load of little Japanese guys with moustaches shouting at each other. But they still don't cook Italian
Pretending
food.
to be Italians.
Because the business is full of fast food and not having really much time to enjoy it or digest it before you're on to doing your next thing. Is the speed still going? I mean, is it still as fast a pace?
Can be, depends. See, that was what was weird about going to Japan. We'd just been to Australia, and Australia's like no one really knows who we are there yet. It's very grassroots.
Yeah.
So that was all very laid back, and then we had to go to Japan where
they
do know who we
you.
are, and they follow us around all over the place, and so the contrasts were a bit.
How do you feel about that? I guess you're lads with your feet on the ground, and you're not overawed by what you're doing.
Sort of enjoy it for a while. I mean, it does your head in a little bit after a while. After you've been there 3 or 4 days, and you just want to go to the shops on your own.
Right.
It's weird, isn't it, how it picks up shapes and stuff.
Nothing there.
No, this mid room I didn't like before.
What the hell is that?
You flipped the camera around, so I was looking at you.
Oh, so what do I do?
Bottom corner.
Ah, gotcha. Thanks, man. Oh, it's tiny.
Yeah, it's a little room.
No, not getting anything yet. I was sure we'd get something because I'm feeling stuff here.
Maybe they just don't show themselves on that SLS.
Maybe not this time. We're getting plenty of noises down there, but more noises down than up.
We can use a spirit detector and all kinds of stuff to find out.
Yeah, we'll be doing that. Spectre detector. What's happening, Tony?
Don't know.
Like reset it, have you?
I have now. Just choose a colour.
Got you. Yeah, it's proof that it's working. Yeah.
You can go straight ahead that door. That's back to the hall.
Yeah.
And the other hall as well, we haven't been.
Yeah, there's another hole. Is it through it?
Yeah, that's where you put the.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
there's
one
another
next door
one.
as well.
strange smell.
It's a big hole.
That's just me. Come on, if you're there, show yourself. We're here for you. We want us to see you. Where are you? I don't know. It's like a growl. No, it could be a car. Just me again. Nothing happening. Nothing happening at all. Chair's still in place. Let's go and see what the ghost radar has to say. That's what we need to know.
There's a car, was it?
Ghost radar's down here somewhere. Right. That's for you, Tony, if you want to disc juggle. And I'll get the ghost radar. It should be in place now.
Very close to well. Let's go again.
Gwen's 2 degrees cooler than anything else in this room. Right. Let's see if there's anything in here. Right, come on. Just looking. Searching for spirit now as we speak. There's no voices on this
No
thing.
voices on there. It never does that.
Presence detected.
That is the weirdest. That's never done that.
It was pointing. I was there. It's pointing here.
Right, just there. Okay.
15. 15.
Call Alan Robson's Night Owls now.
0191 488 3188.
This is real life conversation with the voice of the North.
Greatest Hits Radio.
Now, we gave you a first clue, and remember, we still want, what is the ugliest thing you've ever seen in your life? I want you to ring in and tell me whatever that is. The ugliest thing you have ever seen. Do share that with us. We still want some of your sick note songs too. And, of course, time for a second clue for our competition to win one of our drinky things. collector's items they will certainly be. The first clue, the bad behaviour of young footballers is proof of this. Okay, the bad behaviour of young footballers is proof of this. What song title does that make you think of? Second clue, Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, John Dillinger, and their kind. Okay, Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, John Dillinger, and their kind. What is their kind? It's a song title, but what song? 2 clues down, 2 more to come, and you get slightly easier. And the fourth clue will give it away. Then you tell me whose hits they happen to be. Greatest hits all. Whose hits. And then you ring Chris, and you get through, and you win, and you cheer, and you can't sleep all night due to excitement waiting for your prize to arrive. There you go. That's the deal. So, 2 clues down, 2 more to come. Also, Enid said, when DJ John said that they gave him an inseminator, he meant I think he meant a ventilator, you know, like the oxygen mask for over his mouth. She nearly fell off a chair. She said, they gave me an inseminator. I'm fairly sure they didn't. And if so, fingers crossed you'll get well soon. Anyway, 2 more clues to come. Let us talk to you guys. But just before that, we talked about ugly things. Now, one person mentioned constipation. I got a couple of calls on that.
And now she hasn't been in the loo for 3 months. So
Yeah.
was the instruction, give it to the child, then stand well back?
Not really, but maybe should have been. So never mind, when I came in from work, and my mum kept saying, well, she's got stomach pains, but she was swelling from her chest by this stage.
Right.
And I knew she was really bloated. And I kept saying to her every day, please try and go to the toilet, please. And I would sit with her for hours in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Just thinking, I would talk about anything and everything, just hoping she would, like, forget about things. And
In
go.
my experience, though, you can't talk a turd out. You really can't.
Well, you try anything when you're desperate, Alan. So never mind. And I was thinking, oh, God, you know, she's had this turbo stuff, and now I've got to get home.
Yeah.
What if I get halfway home and it kicks in and it works? I've had it here.
Just sit in this carrier bag.
So never mind. We got home, and she had to have another dose about 5:30 in the afternoon, so we gave her that. And she was actually sick. She said, Mum, it's really horrible, and I can't take this.
Right.
6 o'clock. Get out the way, Mum, I need the lit. Went from 6 till about 8 o'clock. She literally didn't get off the toilet, God love her. Nothing would work.
How long were you constipated for then?
Oh, going on for about 5 years.
What?
And at the finish, I had many enemas. Then they start giving us, the district nurse used to come and put this, like, catheter thing up your backside.
Oh, whoa.
And it put into your backside, and nothing would go in.
Give over. And it gets worse. Now, whether you like it or not, when you're poorly, there's certain bodily functions that you can't help. And that sometimes mean that you're going to go even if you're caught short.
And we went away with some lad I had just met about 4 months beforehand. And I thought I really liked him. He was really nice.
Yeah.
So we went away because I thought we'd spend the weekend together with some friends we both know.
Okay.
We got there. It was a really good time. We hit it off.
Brilliant.
I come home. We were going to give it a go. And then on the way home, my friends went in their car and we were in his car. And we're coming home and we got like halfway home and I had a really bad stomach.
Uh-oh.
And I said to him, oh, can we like stop at the toilet? We were just into the services and I thought like, oh, I'll be all right, I'll make it. And I had white linen pants on because I had...
no, dear. So, and what you're thinking is get to the toilets on the service station as quick as you can.
But I thought, I really did think I was going to make it, and then like we were like, and I knew I must have just like pumped or something.
It broke the seal.
I was absolutely mortified, and I didn't see anything, and I just sat because I didn't know what to do.
So you were still in the car?
No. Just like shit yourself or something.
What do you say? I mean, so he'd have to clean the car. You'd have to get out and do that awful walk to the toilets. Did you have any of that clothes to put on?
Well, we'd been camping, so I had my tracky bottoms in the boot. So I the boot and get my tracky bottoms out, and I had to put them on and went to the service station and sort myself out.
It's not attractive.
I know, but we got home, he dropped it off, and I've never heard or seen him since.
Not surprised. He's probably in the back of his car polishing it up, going, "Oh, look at this done to me car." Tell me your short stories. Come on, we've opened a new topic. We've turned slightly to the right. We didn't expect. And now we're at constipation and court short. Any tales to tell? Come on. You cannot help it, can you, at times? 0191 488 3188. We have Edwin, who is with us in Gateshead. Hi, Edwin.
Hi, Alan. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for calling.
All right.
What's happening with you?
Last lad that was on, I'm on the alkaline diet. I've tried that. It's really good. Like.
Yeah?
It's obviously the opposite acid. And I drink like chamomile tea in the morning. All
right.
It's really good.
Brilliant.
Really good stuff.
Good. Okay.
But ugly things, you want to be ugly things?
Yeah, absolutely.
My ex.
Right.
She's that bad the tide wouldn't take her out.
Excellent. Right.
I was meant to. That's what I was meant to talk about, really. And then I was on the other week. I was telling her I think she's been having an affair.
Yeah. What's happened? Have you sorted it all out?
It's come true. It's come true. She's more or less admitted it, but never said who it was.
Right. So it's over between you, is it?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Probably the best for everybody if that's it.
Oh, definitely. But I seen the old text and that where my name was mentioned. Her mum and dad were involved with it though.
Oh.
You wouldn't want them for parents if you want them in a raffle.
No. Not if they're keeping secrets from you. You know, it doesn't hurt for you.
When you consider our dad, the first time I met him, the first thing he said was, "You marry, I'll pay for it." I thought, I'm paying for it, Ari.
Yeah, but it's just it's so easy, and I know it doesn't seem easy, but to end a relationship before you start a new one's basic stuff, you know.
Oh, well, you always will have to know about this sort of stuff, though. That's the annoying thing.
I agree with you.
Well, I've been everywhere where probably everybody knew what was going on other than me, you know.
Yeah, it makes you feel like
we used to go to the pub with me beer regularly. It's closed now, but everybody in that pub that worked by the bar, because one of my mates apparently was going with one of the lads.
Yeah.
They probably knew what was going on other than me, you know. That's the annoying thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
it means you can start afresh though now.
Oh, definitely, mate. 8 years coming up.
Yeah. Hey, well,
definitely.
Good luck.
I've got to with my eyes open the next time, though.
100%. That's the way to do it. Good on you. Good luck to you, Edwin. Thanks for calling.
Right, take care, buddy. Right.
Cheers, man. Bye-bye. Oh, what a shame. He thought he had the suspicions, but at least he had the talk. It's all out in the open. She was cheating on him. You don't want to be with anything like that. Gone. Mark says, it's not been a good week for us. On Wednesday, we said goodbye to our family dog, Izzy. She had a mass in her abdomen, which was going into her intestines. The vet said nothing more they could do. She was 11. Not sure what that is in doggies. That's quite old. I think 12 to 14 tends to be the end of most dogs. Rest in peace, our little princess, till we meet again, is what he says. And also, someone sent in the Night Owl's geocache. I didn't know what a geocache is, but apparently it's people hide little information pieces in famous places all over the country, and other people go geocaching. They know there's a one there, so they go looking for it and find it. And apparently the one about around the Tyne Bridgey area is all about me. A young Alan Robson started presenting local radio late night phoning, and it's always to get to those phones and little bit of history. The date's off, but everything else on it is pretty accurate. So there you go. World's Best Talk Show and the New York Radio Awards. Hurrah! There you go. But it's just nice because these things are about other people in other places, but it's nice to be in the mix, isn't it? 0191 488 3188. Let us go to Callum, who is in Ponteland.
Bridge.
Hello, Callum.
I'll put that there. Hello?
Hello, Callum. What can we do for you, man?
I'm just curious, what happened to the Metro Radio business? And because I've not called or listened for a long time, and I remember when you were on Metro Radio.
Yeah. Bottom line was, we just won the biggest radio awards you can anywhere in the world, the New York Radio Awards. We won 3 in 3 years and had the best figures the show had ever had. And the company that owned us decided in their wisdom that they were going to be a networked show. So they'd only have a breakfast show and then everything else would come from the south. And I was gone, man. So simple as that.
Man. Though I was only young at the time, I used to remember when the old lanyard with the black and white logo with the little with the pink.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah. Hey, it happens. No worries. We up and we rise and we begin again. As you got it. No problem.
Can he? One more thing I was wondering. I know it's not really the topic of today, but ghost stories.
Yeah. What about them?
I remember listening to one of the things that have been up on YouTube about the ghost stories, and I remember the one about Ponteland in a house.
Right.
I can't remember what it is. Would you be able to give me a quick story about Ponteland, possibly?
Ponteland. Oh, there's half a dozen. I wouldn't go into it in any depth until I looked it up. I'll have a look over the next week or so and see if I can find a good Ponteland tale for you, because there's a few key stories in Ponteland.
Of course.
Okay, I'll look one up for you. No problem.
Of course. Okay, one more thing on geocaching as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I've planted a few in Ponteland actually, and it's quite an interesting thing. It's quite a hidden away little hobby.
Though? Where do you find them? Where are they? Are they something in a tree, or where are they?
Well, there's an app that's literally imagine Google Maps, but on the map there's little pointers and descriptions.
Right.
And you just go put the GPS into your phone. You'd walk over there, and there'll be a container. There'll be a little gift, and there'll be a logbook that you'll sign your name. And over time, the logbook will build up, and there'll be numbers, and so you can track people and stuff. It's quite cool.
Because to me, it sounds like a kind of a grown-up version of what everybody did with Pikachu and all those other things just fairly recently, where everybody was looking in fields, and if you look on a computer, there's one of the characters right there in front of me, kind of thing. But I think it's much cooler if you're writing stuff down and taking the little gift and putting a new gift in, I suppose. Is what happens. That's cool.
I mean, I've planted some of my own, but it was imagine a mason jar, and I put little toys and just a book and a pen. But frankly, someone with bad intentions started that off the ground. Frankly.
Well, it was worth a try all the same, because it seems like the vast majority of people just go along with it as what it is, and they show discipline enough to pass it on, which is from a karma point of view the thing to do, isn't it? So fingers crossed.
I mean, in my time, I've found these geocaches, as you say, accidentally. I wasn't looking for them, but I sat down at a bench at where Kirk Hall is.
Yes.
Yes, there's a bunch around the little walk there, and I found it, and that finally got me back into it. So
brilliant.
Definitely have a look out for it.
Well,
then, thank you, Alan. Have a great chat. One more thing.
Oh, what's that?
Do you know who Wendy is?
Wendy. I know a few Wendys. Which Wendy are you referring to?
Wendy's nuts in your mouth.
Dear. I sensed there was something coming in. There it was. 01914 488 3188. Throughout the years, there have been a zillion of them. And it's good to know they're still out there. 01914 488 3188. Most people get irritated or annoyed. Whatever. Crack on. Don't forget, we have 2 more clues to come as well for our competition. We've had a couple more suggesting tunes. First Cut is the Deepest. Now, that's a real song, of course. We've also had I'll Walk a Million Miles If I Didn't Have Pails. We mentioned pails being a problem before. Night Bowels, somebody suggested. The Chest of My Love. Long-Haired Liver from Liverpool. And Bum Bum, Bum and Make Thighs at Me, Stare at My Eyeballs and Bush. Whatever. If you've got any more sick note songs, we'll have a few of those as well. We have Heather next, who is in Forden. Hello, Heather.
Well, hello.
Hello, love. What can we do for you?
It's nothing. It's just he called us on the hop. Chrissy texted us because I just found you on Facebook the other week. I didn't even know you were back running.
Right. Okay. Well, welcome back. Glad you found us.
Because I missed you. Hal.
Right. Thank you.
Because we used to listen to you all the time. I sent all the competitions. I won a few as well.
I bet.
So it's just nice to know that I can. But is it only on the Facebook we can get you, or can you get me on Facebook?
You can get us on. Have you got an Alexa or any of those gadgets?
No,
you haven't, because we're on them. We're also on Radio 2. We're on. I think it's 11:52. 11:52. So if you go there, we're on the radio as well. Facebook, yes, and YouTube. So pick the best one of them, but that's where you'll find us. All right.
Oh, that'd be lovely. It'd be nice to go to bed with you again, Alan.
Well, thank you. You look at this face. You can tell it's taking it out of me. Thanks very much anyway. Lovely talking to you, Heather.
Right, take care, darling.
Right, bye-bye. Isn't that nice? 0191 488 3188. Eddie's just come up with a 10cc song, Heart for Heart's Sake. Yeah, one of the better 10cc tunes, it has to be said. Usually we only hear I'm Not in Love and I'm Mandy Fly Me, which are all right. I prefer the rockier ones like Silly Love, which I suppose could be Willy Love if we're looking at body parts. Silly Love, Art for Art's Sake, The Things You Do for Love. Did a lot of good stuff. The Sacroiliac B-side. Ooh, worth a listen. 0191 488 3188. Russ is up next. He's in Washington. Hi, Russ.
Hello, funny lad. How you doing?
I'm all right. Thanks for coming on. What are you talking about tonight?
I've got a few things to do first. Okay. The Facebook chat on the NATO's program, them guys, they're fantastic. They really are.
Good.
I've had such a good laugh in there tonight.
Great.
First of all, I'll pick up Newcastle.
Yes.
The transfer window, it's been an absolute whirlwind. And I'm delighted that the big signings are coming to Newcastle.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't think it would happen.
Right. I mean, I've just heard tonight that I know the window ends technically in 24 hours, doesn't it? Like midnight tomorrow. I've heard whispers that they're going for Dean Henderson, the Manchester United England goalkeeper. They're trying to get him on loan, but if they get him on loan, they'd have to buy Jesse Lingard outright. And what if we could, if Newcastle United could get any team in the Northeast could get Dean Henderson, an England goalkeeper, and an England international, Jesse Lingard, all in. I know they haven't done it yet, and they've only got 24 hours, but that's what they're working on. Blimey, that would be a statement, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it just? Yeah. I also want to put out that I've got a little bit of inside information.
Okay.
About signings. I've got a good friend who works at St. James Park.
Right. Okay.
The signing of the Brazilian midfielder, he's good mates with a Colombian striker who Eddie Howe is very keen to sign on.
Right.
And with the two linking up and with getting the latest sign that we're just getting.
Bruno Guimaraes. I haven't learned how to pronounce his surname yet. Yeah.
That's the guy, Al. Yeah.
Right.
Nice one. He's a good mate of this Colombian striker.
Is that Zapata?
That's the guy, Al. Yeah.
Right. Right.
So you're talking about, the Aspiratino days, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if he's attracted to come to Newcastle because he's mate, Bruno.
However you pronounce it.
Gramish, yeah, it's a queer surname. We'll have to sort that one out for a song.
Because we're not supposed to talk about Bruno, according to the hit in the charts at the minute. But it's just amazing that you get a Brazilian international, because everybody kind of thought, oh, they're so rich, you'll have you'll have Messi and Mbappe and what have you. You've got to be sensible. Let's get the team out of the situation they're in first, and then see how far it can go. But I think small steps, but they're good steps. They're promising.
I'm amazed how much we're actually getting signed, to be honest with you.
I just hope, I hope it's not the last one. I would love to see Dean Henderson at Newcastle. I think he would do the world of good. And I've always thought that Jesse Lingard was the name to go for. But I think Manchester United are just frightened he's going to succeed like he did the last time with West Ham. And they'll look like a bunch of mugs because they're not playing that well at the moment.
Exactly. Yes, yeah, that's what's going on there. I think this time of the transfer market, money talks. That's the end of the story.
For sure. No, for sure. Absolutely. 100%. Anything else then, Russ?
I guess trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Trouble. You don't see too many planes in the skies right now, even though restrictions are reduced right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering where it's like to go to travel agents and say, right, I want to go to Corfu for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What's the chance?
Well, I mean, they're saying that the holiday industry's open for business now and everybody should, but every country's still got question marks about it. And you don't know if you go, whether you're going to have to pay a couple of £100 for a test before you go or a test when you come back. I think a lot of people are hanging on. I think it's doable, but it depends where you go because, as I say, some of the places are no-go zones. Australia, you cannot. Half a dozen of the European countries, the figures are going up again. So I think most people are just hanging back and waiting till they're sure, because the one thing you don't want is to be hog-tied and said, okay, when you go home, after using up all of your holiday leave, you've got to stay in the house for 10 days. That's the last thing. You know, try explaining that to your boss. Sorry, mate, but, that's not easy, is it?
It's not, no. I mean, I remember I did a little sneaky thing. The last holiday I had, I went away for 2 weeks, and I was employed at the time, working for a very big company.
Right.
And I had 3 weeks instead of 2.
Right. So I know we're all very critical of Boris and his parties and what have you, but I think a lot of people have tried as best they can to get away with murder when it comes to, how long you stay in the house and how long you can get away on holiday for. A lot of people have tried that. So I don't let he who is without sin cast the first stone, as the Bible once put it. But it'd be interesting to see what happens. Anything else then, Russ?
Yes, there's 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favourite place to go in the UK? Where would you like to go?
Favourite place in all the UK? If I had a week and I could just go and chill out, it would either be Glasgow or Edinburgh. They're 2 totally different types of places. If you fancy a rough, wild time, you go to Glasgow. If you fancy a fairly civilized time, you go to Edinburgh. That would be my 2 favourites, definitely.
Yeah, brilliant. I love it.
Where would you pick?
My place, which has always been for a long time, it's in my heart, and I love the place, the Lake District. I love the Lake District.
Yeah, I can't blame you for
particularly the Langdale Valley. It's absolutely
gorgeous.
Heaven.
It is stunning. Stunning. Good choice.
Yeah.
So what was your last thing?
The last thing, have you got a note that I've got a little bit of a song which is a little bit naughty, Have you been warned?
Right. I haven't, but go ahead, go for it.
Okay. You might bang this up. Don't worry about it. It's not too bad, I promise you.
Go on then. Just do it.
All right, man. It's called The Funny Song.
Right. Well, I think just as soon as you... The clues were all there, weren't they? I'm sorry, mate, but we will just have to lose that rest. It just might be a little bit awkward. Hey, the weird thing is, on television, if I was doing one of my late night talk shows on the telly, and I did for years, I wouldn't think twice about it. On radio, you're going to be 10 times more careful for no sensible reason. However, erring on the side of caution, and so that Granny doesn't fall off the couch. Thanks very much to Russ. Let us talk on. We got some more stars coming out at night. Two great guys as well, good friends of the show, coming on after I've spoken to Alison from Anfield Flame. But just before that, Easter's been on, says, Alan, as you know, I'm usually the last man standing. However, since starting my own business, Tyne Tunnel Mobile Mobility Scooters, I'm whacked by 9:30, 10 o'clock. I work in 7 days a week, keeping the community's old biddies rolling. I'm a mobile mobility scooter repair service. If you give me a shout to your listeners and they need assistance, I'll give them a 25% discount if they mention you. I do everything from a small service to puncture repairs. I'll defo be on in the next couple of weeks. So if you need a mobile service or a puncture or anything done with your mobile scooter, if you've got one that's not working and you want it brought up to scratch, Easter is doing that at the present moment. So there you go. So across to Alison. Hello, Alison.
Hi, Alan. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for calling. As always, what you got for me this week then?
You've my curiosity now about that song. Like, as soon as it was mentioned, it was like, oh, now I'm curious what it was about.
Which song?
But no, what the guys just mentioned.
Oh, well, yes, of course. The thing that I realise I've just done inadvertently is the amount of people that are now gone straight onto Google and typed in that title, and you just know it's not going to end well. Or maybe it will, depending who's looking and what their personal taste is. But, yeah, I just think we best sail by it as quickly as we could.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, what I was going to come on and just talk about Lanchester.
Yes.
The ghost hunt. It was absolutely brilliant.
I'm glad you liked it. Good.
Because it's quite close to, I grew up, we didn't live in Lanchester. I've always lived in Avier Plain. Right. But all my friends lived in Lanchester, so we used to go down there quite a bit.
Right. Great.
And we've had loads of things happen down there.
Whereabouts in Lanchester were you that you found was active?
Well, the community centre for a start. We were doing a craft fair there.
All right.
One night, and we had to go down the night before to set out the tables.
Right.
And the same thing happened to us. What was happening to you? The chairs kept moving.
Now, you see, when Kenny and I were in the car coming back, because we always go as a team kind of thing. Yeah. I was saying to him, did you brush the chair? And I'm thinking, well, it's in the dark. We could have brushed the chair. So, and he said, well, maybe, but I don't think so. And I said about the book as well. I said, did you open the book? And he says, no. And he swore to me that he hadn't opened the book.
Yeah.
And I've got no reason to doubt him. But one minute it was closed, according to what Tony saw when he was looking at the finished product kind of thing. And then the next minute it was open. So we had a few things in there that has us kind of scratching our heads. But out of all of them, it was the chairs for me.
Yeah.
Because
well, for us, it was...
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, go on.
All I was saying is it was the chairs because on purpose I was pushing them right in. So if they're not... If you brush a chair, you don't brush a chair out and around. If you brush it, you move it a couple of inches. You don't move it a foot or 3 foot. Do you know what I mean? And also, it made a telltale sound if you had a drag noise. So if you were going to move it, you'd have to lift them up with both hands. That's not brushing a chair. That's...
Yeah, and they're really heavy as well.
They're heavy chairs, yeah.
So what we found when we were setting it out, we had both the halls and the kitchen,
right?
So we had like the whole thing to set out for the craft fair. So there's quite a few tables,
right?
And Rob, my hubby, was with us, and he was putting things in a particular way, and I wanted them in a particular way, so I kept saying to him, "Why are you moving them? Why are you moving the chairs?" Because I was going around putting like two together, like in a nice shape behind each table, thinking he was going around behind us and pushing them in.
Gotcha. No, because that is pretty much exactly what happened. We had them in place so we could easily get around them all. And there was the odd one that I sat on, but I knew which ones they were, and yet other chairs were kind of out of place. And I think we became a bit obsessed with it by the end, and maybe pointed to things that hadn't moved. I don't know whether this really happened or not. Just I know that by the time we got towards the end of the bit that we did in the community centre, because obviously we did all of that stuff outside, looking at all the other history things, we were obsessed with it because another chair's going to move. And it wasn't a question that we were going to get anything other than that blasted chair's. I'm sure that chair wasn't there. And I was looking out for it by the time you got into the second half of it, if you know what I mean, because we'd had so much at the beginning. But glad to know that it wasn't just us.
Yeah, I just kept thinking, that's what happened to us. That's what happened to us.
Right.
But even that feeling that you were talking about, that's the feeling that I get when I'm in the community centre.
Fluttery.
Especially if I'm there on my own, quite anxious.
I wonder why. Because I know, yes, there was if the story's right, about this Cecily woman, Cecily Ritson, who was a headmistress a teacher for about 3 months, and then headmistress for the rest of that year, and then she was never heard of again. So you think, well, we don't know what happened to her. We know she was brutal, but she said, "You'll never get rid of me. I'll always be here." Now, was the amount of terror that she generated with kids so much that when people go there, they feel that anxious? Because I think...
Yeah, it's kind of tainted it.
Because I know that when I was a kid, if I was going to... Because what teachers did with us were, if you did something bad on a Friday, they'd never punish you on a Friday. They'd say, Monday morning, headmaster's office, you're going to get the strap. So all weekend, you're wetting yourself. You know, you cannot enjoy Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and Sunday night you're sitting there papping your pantaloons thinking, what's going to happen to me tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
And that's minor next to what the kind of stuff she did. She marked them with birches and things. So, whoa. So maybe you get a flavour of what the overall feeling of the place was. But it's been used for nice things ever since. So
it has, and it's a lovely place as well. It's a really lovely community centre.
Nice people as well, lovely people.
Yeah, they are. They're lovely. But the other place that I was hoping that you would go to, but unfortunately you didn't, is on the railway line, where the old station used to be.
Well, I shall write this down for our next visit to Lancaster. So what's there? Tell me everything.
We used to... I think it's been converted now to a house, but when we were younger, it was still just like a derelict station.
Right.
So you could sit like what used to be on the platform, and you used to just sit there, but it was a cycle path.
Right.
Which goes like in front of it now.
Uh-huh.
So literally, we would be sat there, pitch black, couldn't see a hand in front of you, and you could hear a train.
Oh, wow.
And I've heard that a few times. That's not just a one-off. We've heard that a few times where we've all been sitting there like as teenagers at like 11 o'clock at night on the line, and everybody's like,
"Yeah, train coming."
Yeah, can you hear that? And then the other thing was further along, you could hear horses.
That's cool, isn't it?
So like the other side of the road, like where the library was, where you were, if you go like up that hill.
Yes.
If you branch off to the left when you get to the cycle path, that's where you can hear like trains. And if you branch off to the right, that's where you can hear like, it just sounds like hundreds of horses running. And we heard that a few times when we were younger as well.
I wish I'd known we'd have been down there. That sounded perfect, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You say it might be a house now, so you wouldn't want to go past somebody's garden or whatever, but...
I know it was up for sale.
Right.
I think it's been converted. I had a look online to see what it was. I don't even know whether it's like a holiday type home.
Right.
So you can rent it out, but you can still walk along in front of it. You can still get where like the platform type thing was.
Yeah. Have you ever been to the Indian on that street we were on?
I haven't been to the Indian, no.
No, because it just... when you get a smell that... It's almost like that old-fashioned Bisto smell where you could float on the smell of whatever they were cooking at the time. It smelled amazing. It was right next to a pizzeria that had no smell at all, and it completely trumped it. Oh, I don't know. There's something about the curry that just does it for me, I have to say.
It was more when Kenny was pointing his torch behind the pub. I was thinking, It'll be somebody's house. You should. It'll be off their boiler. The steam will be coming off their boiler. I was thinking,
we never even
somebody's
thought
going to come out.
It could, of course, it could. You know, they've just put the hot water on, man. Who? That's what it was.
Yeah, I was shouting at you down there.
Yeah, that was stupid.
But fantastic history. You don't realise, like, that was the best part of it.
Yeah,
because you just, like, don't realise something's so close, and it makes you want to look into it further and just kind of look into the places. So that was absolutely brilliant. So loved Lanchester.
Well, we'll do on to somewhere else historic and fab this coming week. So fingers crossed. But hey, thanks for being with us as always.
One of the other places that I used to work that was really, really active, similar kind of thing to a community centre, it was Bullion Hall in Chesley Street.
Right. Ooh,
that's the one to go on the list.
I'm not even sure we've written that down. We'll write that. Tony's writing as we speak. Fabulous.
Yeah, it's before it was converted to like offices, which is where like I used to work. It I think it was like a school,
right?
Because they had a stage and everything in it. So, but we used to. There's so many nights that I was working late after it went dark, and I would think that somebody had walked past. But if they walked past my window, they were walking into a wall.
Right. So there'd be no need.
So
for
it was like
to do that. Right.
Nobody's walked into the wall, and then we found out that that's where the stage door was.
Right before
when we kind of looked into it.
Filmed.
Yeah. So the person that everybody said that they saw was the caretaker.
Right.
And loads of people who worked in the building had saw him as plain as day, like as if he was a person.
Brilliant.
But what used to happen with the chairs there as well is there was like the caretaker who used to work there would leave on a night time, and he would come in the next morning and somebody had stacked all the chairs up. So he couldn't get through the door. But the only way you could do that is from the other side, and there was no way into the other side.
Do you know that the chair thing, and I know it got to me on the last show, the Lanchester Centre, it got to me, and yet on one occasion, many years ago, you know the stacking phenomena. I've only experienced it twice in all of the stuff that I've done, because people say, "Oh, they love to stack furniture on things."
Yeah.
I was it's one of the most famous ghost things that we did, Poveglia, the Plague Island. The very first time I was there with the telly people, filming the telly and doing Night Owls after it, we were doing at the time. And I was doing Night Owls, and I walked past a room that had about 20 metal white garden chairs. You know, the metal ones that look rusty and dirty and filthy because they've been standing out in the rain forever. There was about 20 or 30 of them, all on the floor, nothing stacked. And I walked to the building, the medical centre that was there, and I came back within 10 minutes. And when I looked in there were 2 piles of chairs up to the ceiling of that room. And most of the chairs had been put together. Now, I was close enough to hear if anybody had done it.
Yep.
And I don't think I was away long enough for anybody to achieve that. But if people didn't do it, what can do? You know, it's like, what can move a chair? Okay, a chair moved a foot. You think, oh, well, maybe there is a force out there or an energy that can do that.
Yeah.
But stack them up. That's mind-blowing.
That's some strong energy, isn't it?
That's mind-blowing if that's what they can achieve. But fab. Hey, Alison, thanks.
It's the same as poltergeist, isn't it?
No, I suppose so.
They can do amazing things.
So, hey, there's a lot out there we are yet to fully understand. That is for sure.
Definitely is. You keep looking for them, Alex. Looking.
I will. But it's great to know that we're not totally insane. Because that thing with the chairs had us all kind of shaking our heads when we came out of there. So good to know.
No, I could definitely relate to that one.
Brilliant. Thanks again, Alison. Good on you.
Okay, see you soon.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. 01914 888 3188. We have, I think, Alison coming up. We just had Alison, should I say. We have a quick break, and then we shall talk to whoever's next. Hopefully, it'll be you, of course.
Greatest Hits Radio.
from something that's confused. Don't dismiss her delicate. Don't dismiss her. Cecily was dismissed.
Oh, right.
She was sacked, wasn't she?
She was.
Don't dismiss her delegate. She wasn't delegate. She was, or maybe she was delegate because that's why she battered them. Let's try one. Why is that chair over there? Did you do that? Is that your coat, Tony?
Yeah, that's my coat.
Did you move your chair?
Not that I remember.
That was you. Push it back then. See that chair's. Why is that chair over there? I'm going to ask him, will you get on there? Yeah, unless that's what it was doing through there. You know, when we heard the thing move. I don't know. You'll go. It's getting something. It's over there. That's Gwen. Message coming through. Come here. Manon, fire you. Fire you.
Fire you?
She was fired, wasn't she?
Work colleague?
Fire work colleague.
That's got to be her. Then. It's got to be.
Because I'm always questioning this, especially. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty. Let's put this on then. Get the romancer back.
Yeah, definitely.
She hasn't, I know. I know. Oh dear.
What's her name? Cecile?
Cecily.
Cecily.
Cecily Ritson, but she was known as Sissy. But she was anything but a. I want to speak to Cecily. Sissy, are you there? Are you there, Cecily? Cecily? No. I don't think so. Did you just move that chair? My legs are on the legs.
Night Owls with Alan Robson.
You never know who's going to call next.
We are about 10, 15 minutes away from your third clue, and we're about 35 minutes away from your fourth and final clue, so you're nearly there. Hang on in there. Alan Robson with your Greatest Hits Radio Northeast. Thank you for being with us. Still looking for some of the ugliest things that you have ever seen. We've had everything from owners picking up poo to skid marks. It's not all toiletry, I hasten to add. And we have Malcolm, who's on the lane, and I think he's in a bit of difficulty, actually, with Storm Malik and Storm Connie following in on Malik's tail. Hiya, Malcolm.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm all right, but I've been blinded a bit with the storms late, but never mind.
So when did your electric go out then?
10 o'clock yesterday morning.
Oh, what have you been doing for food?
Well, I had to cook on gas last night.
Oh, we had gas. That's all right. And thank heavens for that. So what you been doing? Warming your hands on the oven?
Well, I haven't got an oven. It's electric.
Oh, blimey. Right, I see. But you've got a gas cooker. Right, I see.
I've got a gas ring.
So have you had your hands? Have you had your hands on your ring then?
Well, it was actually, I could feel the heat of the sun this morning.
Right.
I'll give you a quick listen to Storm Callum now if you want.
Go on then.
I'll open the
Play
door.
us
I'll
your
open the door.
Go walk to the door. That's champion.
Did you hear him?
Yes, I can hear it in the distance, definitely. Oh, blame you. Yeah, that. Yeah, that's
right.
That's bad. Don't lose your hat or anything.
I haven't got a hat.
Don't let your
I
slippers.
haven't got a hat.
Has it
I haven't got a hat.
Has it blown
I've still got me trainers. I've still got me trainers
Still got
on.
your trainers on. That's all right then. Hey, well, stay safe anyway.
That's
Malcolm.
That's life for Motorburn.
Right. Oh, well, absolutely. I tell you,
Aye.
you've got the ranges up there. Everything's flat, and the wind just blasts over it.
Wind just blasts where you want.
That's a fact.
Last night I had absolutely total black darkness.
Right.
All yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And I went to the Shatter in Otterburn.
Uh-huh.
And it was closed.
Oh, man. Well, presumably they've got no electric either, though.
Well, they've had a massive big wedding venue down there today.
Right. With
So
no
the whole village has been chock-a-block.
Yeah, but
in the dark.
How are they managing, though, with no electric?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Wow.
So...
When are you going to get your lucky back? When's your
I tried to go to the local shop this afternoon.
Uh-huh.
The Border River.
Any joy?
Only it was shut as well.
Shut as well, right. So whenever
you couldn't get through the village.
When's the electric board going to put your electric back on then? Have you heard?
I don't know. We're back on now about 10:30 this morning, only half the village.
All right, but not you yet.
But the bottom end of the village was about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
All right, right.
So it's been a right
time.
That doesn't mean there's all the places on yet.
Right, oh, I hear you. Right, blaming. Still, you've managed.
So,
you've fought your way
through.
through.
Put everything on Facebook, consequently you can't get Facebook.
Right, of course not. If the electric's off, you're getting out. That's the thing.
We're getting not a ready thing.
Not a thing. Hey, well, thank you very much for ringing, Malcolm. Stay safe, mate.
Right, I just got a message off your Chris to go want to go on. I said, right, yes.
Yeah, and you sent the wind in our direction. Thank you very much
for
that.
I sent the wind in our direction.
Thanks a lot. There's Malcolm in Ottawa, no electric, and he shared his wind. It takes a certain kind of show, really. If somebody, first of all, will tell me how he warms his hands on his ring, and secondly, if he'll play you his wind. There you are. I tell you, you got to be close. And it's such an honor. Anyway, we're going to play a little piece of music now, and then we're going to talk to Stephen. We'll zip across there to, he's in Durham, I think. But first, piece of music from a great band. Now, the last time I met with the singer from this band, his name's John Power. He's also the voice of the Lars, you know. Here we go. His wife had just given birth to a little tot. I remember presenting with a big, hairy, cuddly animal for her. And he is a bit of a superstar. It's one of those bands that when you hear it, you just realise, blimey, they're such a good band. Wonder whatever happened to them. Cast.
Did you move the chair?
I honestly don't think I did.
Did you move?
Oh, you're talking to them?
Did you move the chair?
Hang on, let's see. Because my knees are on this table. Don't know whether you can see, but they're on the table.
It moved about an inch or two.
I've got it on camera, so I've had it on camera, so I would have seen it. If it moved, I would have definitely seen it.
I don't think I did it.
Did you move the chair? Basket?
Did you move it? No, and yes.
Oh, hell yes, I heard.
Hell yes.
Hell yes.
Why are you moving the chairs? I suppose kids. But I keep my knees on the table edge. If I moved anything, I'd move the table. But if I move the table, do I move the chair? I'm gonna move the table just as I'm. No. I've pushed it too far, so I can't anyway. Right. Was that you moving the chair? Aye.
He keeps on saying, yeah.
Is Cicely there? I want to speak to Cicely Ritson. Miss.
That was like, yeah.
Miss Ritson. That sounds like a woman saying yes.
Definitely. Like a rough woman. Oh, didn't like that, did you? Rough woman.
Or was that you,
me.
Tony? Did you make a banging noise there?
Yes. Sorry.
Yes.
She's not happy that you said rough woman.
Why were you so rough with children, Cecily?
She's doing that.
They were just children. Why did you... Stop it. Why did you mark the children? Why did you mark the children? Why did you hurt them? Did you hear that?
I heard a noise.
I heard a noise from behind. Like a moving around kind of noise.
Is your camera pointing that way? Yeah.
Well, I've got a lot on, yeah. I've got most of it on screen.
About that high, little white, like it was like a white line. I can only describe it as like a white line just went like that. But like,
I didn't see the chair. I didn't see the line. Mind you, I wasn't looking.
Are you joking me?
What?
Are you joking me?
What?
Look. Oh, look. Are you joking me?
Tony.
Hang on.
You see it?
Now that's impossible. We haven't even been back in here. And that's moved as well.
Look, Tony.
Has any more moved? Can you remember what they were like?
I sat on one.
That was underneath. You sat on that one?
No. But if you move them, listen.
Yeah, that's the noise I heard. That's the noise I heard. Put that one back underneath again. Why is it moving just...
You might have seen videos like this before, but here's the big secret. Anyone can make one of these videos in a few minutes. You might think you need a professional animator or to learn some fancy editing program, but that's not the case. In fact, we know you can make a professional video just like this, even if you've never made a single video before. Let's find out how.
Hi, I'm Brad Callen, and in this video, I'm going to show you how anyone can quickly and easily create doodle videos, just like the one you're watching right now, using Doodly, our drag and drop doodle software that allows anyone, regardless of tech skills, to create highly engaging professional doodle videos in a matter of minutes. Because doodle videos are fun and engaging, they can get you more clicks, likes, shares, and most importantly sales than any other type of video. Which is why Doodly is now the video tool of choice for over 150,000 businesses all over the world, in virtually every industry and profession that you can imagine. Doodle videos are perfect for marketing, teaching, fundraising, personal use, and even...
Why are you moving just these ones? There's definitely 100% something here.
But none of us were in here.
No, that's what I'm saying. We were upstairs before. Got a headache. Oh, man. What is going on?
I've just got a flutter and I don't understand it. Because I'm not frightened.
No.
But I've got a flutter and I don't understand it.
Did you hear footsteps again there?
That's Tony. We're just geared, aren't we, to pick something up. I'm going to take the necromancer, I think. Yeah.
The rods as well, people are asking for.
What, sorry?
The rods.
They love the rods.
Yeah.
You can ask questions.
Do you like the rods?
Absolutely, I know they love the rods.
Oh, man.
Did you push the chair back, Tony?
I don't think I pushed it all the way under, though.
No. Okay.
Alan Robson's Night Owls.
The phone-in that gets you talking.
Greatest Hits Radio.
Now, I promised you a third clue. Here it is. Now, remember, the competition is for one of our drinky things to keep all your drink very, very hot or very, very cold. And if you would like one, all with our Night Owls logo, the thing that you can see, hang on, there, in the corner. For those of you watching, for those of you listening, that made no sense at all. And there is a picture of our non-spill Night Owls Cup, our What's It competition prize. If you haven't got one, you have a limited time to get them. Okay, so get stuck in. The first clue, the bad behaviour of young footballers is proof of this. The bad behaviour of young footballers is proof of this. Second clue, Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, John Dillinger, and their kind. Okay, and their kind. The third clue, sending a missive to an ex-Newcastle United manager, Mr. Hullett. Okay, sending a missive or a note to ex-Newcastle United manager, Mr. Hullett. Okay? Sending a missive or a note to ex-Newcastle United manager, Mr. Hullett. What song could that be? 3 clues down. 1 more clue to come. The 4th clue, Doddle. Absolutely will nail it for you, and you're going to get that within the next 20 minutes. Okay, we so nearly went across to Stephen in Durham. Let's go there now. Hi, Stephen.
Hi, Alan.
Hello, mate.
Yes, Happy New Year.
And to you.
Yes, of all, I hate that Trevor in Gates says it because I know he's spouting his mouth off at Sunderland, but I'm a Middlesbrough supporter and I hate them both, Newcastle and Sunderland. And
that's very balanced of you. Middlesbrough not doing too bad at the moment as well.
No, you see, my team is still in the FA Cup.
There you
This
go.
is not going to be playing Man United. So,
Hey, hope you make a fortune, and it's a good time to play them, I think, because they're not doing so well.
Yes, that's right. And Hartlepool United as well.
Yes.
They're playing Crystal Palace down there, and they've never been in the 5th round before.
I know. How brilliant is that? I hope that's another one of those shock results that will go down in their history forever. How brilliant.
Yeah, great. And we've got our new minibus now at Waddington Street.
Good. Has it been put to use yet?
Yeah, it has. It's we're going out to the South Crosses, Badminton and things. But the first night with the men's crate, we still had to go in the old minibus to the pool and snooker centre in Berkeley because the new minibus was getting the seats changed around. Needed it.
Right. It'll only put together in time to have a nice busy year for you, hopefully.
Yep, that's right. Good. And it's being used now. And I went to the Bridge Hotel on the 14th of January and said to the barmaid, I hope you have another speed dating thing on there, and I hope it's more successful than the last one, because remember what happened before when 3 men turned up and no women.
Yeah, I'm presuming nobody actually got off with anybody. How desperate were the guys?
Well, there was me and Ian Hart from Whitburn, and Gary from Hessenley Hall, who was already there before he tried in year 7 and 9. And the barmaid said she was talking to some women on the train, about it. And they seemed quite interested. That's very odd on the train, isn't it,
Yeah. It's just a bit desperate, isn't it, really? That's a shame.
Yes, so she said, I'll have a little think about it, and if it's on again, it'll be advertised, so I deserve a second bite of the cherry.
Yeah, definitely, worth a go. What kind of woman are you looking for then, Stephen?
Just anybody who turns up. See, at least I can see them face to face.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, out my age and see what we've got in common, and, you know.
Yeah. So all you're interested in, as long as they're female and breathing and you can see them, that'd be a good start.
Yes, I mean, that sort of thing. And the disgusting things, you know.
Right. No, I just can't believe that they didn't turn up. I thought there was lots of ladies looking for good, handsome northern men.
So did I. I can't understand what went wrong, you know. On time between 7 and 9, yeah. They ain't bad, John.
That's a shame. So, hey, well, hopefully next time, Stephen, you'll find Miss Right, hopefully.
Yes, that's right. Because it'll be my birthday on February the 8th. I'll be 49.
Oh, blimey. Well, it's the perfect time to get a girlfriend. Someone you can go out and celebrate with.
Yes.
That'd be nice.
That.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else then, Stephen?
Yeah, disgusting things, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Parts of
ugly things, yeah.
Apart from the cans and bottles that roll about on the bus, things in them, you know. Poop scoop bags, you know. There was one right in the middle of the pavement when I was walking to, Morris Pickles at Ali Park. So
right.
I carried it along by its handle and I threw it high up in the tree.
Well, that's not helpful. That's still up in a tree, though. It's going to be there for the next 100 years.
Yes, but then there's no bins along there, you see. There's just, post box near Park Drive.
No, well, you can't put in a post box. That's
no, I'm saying there's no bins. They need to poop back thing along. Right. And then toilets as well in pubs and clubs. People just don't flush them. They just pee into them.
Yeah, they leave whatever's there. That's not nice at all either, is it? No, you're quite right. Quite right.
No, sir.
All right. Hey, well, thank you very much, Stephen. Lovely to hear from you. Thanks for coming on. You take care. Bye-bye. So there you hide in the tree. Because you see, that is ugly. It's an ugly thing. There was a bush in a cemetery that somebody took a photograph of, and there was 40 poo bags. And you know that about 20 to 25 of them will be the same scruff ball of an owner that's just louped them on there. Oh, horrible. Hate it. 01914883188. Got some more of our song titles as well, the sick note songs. And we've got Constipation, If Only I Could. That's classic. We also have Exmar Baker, Unchained Malady, Isn't It Rheumatic? Let's Cut the Whole Thing Off. I guess that's why they call it a bruise. There you are. And 10 cold tablets sitting on the wall. And Like a Bunion, lanced for the very first time. 01914883188. If you can do better, do better. It's time. Let's do it now. Jackie's with us. Stockton upon the tees. Hello, Jackie.
Hello, Alan. You all right?
I'm good, love. Thank you very much for ringing. What are you ringing about?
Well, I'm a little bit tipsy because it's my birthday, so I've been on the Prosecco, but I'm not drunk.
Right,
I don't believe in any of that.
No, I
really enjoying it a bit.
Of course.
And I've opened some beautiful presents and cards.
All right.
But what I was interested in is a girl came on earlier, and she mentioned something about Shaftesbury Street in Stockton.
That's correct, yes.
Was she talking about a children's home there or something?
She was, and it's haunted apparently. Do you know anything about the street?
Well, I've tried to find out the history because I used to live there.
Right, all right. Uh-huh.
And the building that the lady might be talking about is the one that I lived in.
Right, oh, I see.
I mean, obviously, I haven't experienced any of the paranormal things that she has.
Right. Uh-huh.
But the building itself is called Penley D. This is what it's called now.
Right.
And I'm guessing it's the same building because this particular one is 3 flights up on a fire escape.
Right, I see. Uh-huh.
And I lived at number 10.
Right.
At the top, and I had to go up through 3 floors of fire escape to get to my flat where I was living.
Right, that's a class.
Now,
right.
this place, has been turned into separate flats.
Right, uh-huh.
And what it is, they've got, I think they've got a basement floor, because it's below the garden, so I think that's basement.
Right.
But my brother and his girlfriend, about 25 years ago, he lived there
Uh-huh.
on the very stingy bit.
Right.
But I've also lived in this building itself. I've lived in number 7, Penley Dean, and I've lived in number 10, Penley Dean.
All right.
So I lived in like 10 first, then I lived in 7 after that.
But you had no experience of anything peculiar there at all, though?
Well, not really, because, I mean, see, when I was living in number 10 Penley D, my brother and his girlfriend had a flat across the hall away from me.
Right.
So, like, they were living there before me.
So if there was any strange ghosty noises, you might have thought it was coming from them.
Well, I don't think there was any ghostly noises. I mean, I've had paranormal experiences before.
Right. Like what?
But I haven't. Well, one time I was when I was a kid, and I was about 15. My dad used to work as a long distance lorry driver, so he wasn't always there in the night time.
Yeah.
And one night, my oldest sister, was looking after us,
Right.
had a boyfriend staying over.
Uh-huh.
And it was a 3-bedroom house. So my dad's bedroom was in the middle. And then my brother's bed was like bedrooms next to that. And one night, because my friend was sleeping in my brother's bed, it wasn't the fact that she was sleeping there, because that was only like a single bed.
Right.
But I was supposed to share a bed with my sister, like a bedroom.
Right.
But because the boyfriend was there, I slept in my dad's bed. And what happened was the door was one of the ones that you had to jam shut.
Right, yes, uh-huh.
You know, like you'd shut it and it just go bang and shut.
Right.
But then you had to twiggle with the handle to fully shut it.
Right, uh-huh, yeah, dodgy hand.
And I never ever shut that bedroom door. And this night, I don't know why, I closed it fully.
Right.
And I was laid in bed, in my dad's bed, obviously. And what happened was the bed was up against the wall.
Uh-huh.
So I was facing the wall, and there was a space between the bed and the window. And I was just laid there thinking, yeah, I'll go to sleep. And the bed started shaking, like behind me, like big asleep.
Right.
And I thought, oh, it's a dog, because what happened was we had a dog, a Jack Russell, and it used to like sneak in each other's beds.
Right, uh-huh.
So, like, it would get in my sister's when she went to bed, and it would get in whoever's bed, and then it's come in my bed.
Right.
And I thought, oh, it's jumping up, you know what I mean? It's shaking the bed.
Mm.
And I thought, oh, shit. I've closed the door. The dog can't get in.
Right.
What's going on?
So
I just realised that I'd fully shut it. And I'd never done it before. And I thought, oh, no. It's shaking. And I tried to shout my friend, because she was in my brother's bedroom.
Yeah.
Obviously, no point calling my sister for obvious reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
And every time I opened my mouth, I could not speak.
Right, you're
The
so
light in me.
frightened. Right.
And I just froze to the bed, and I was that terrified. And I was like, but I wasn't making the noise.
Right. Uh-huh.
And then it stopped. And I went, top of voice. Anyway, my friend came charging in, you know, what's going on?
Right.
Oh my God. And she was little as well. She was littler than me. She was like less than 5 foot tall, you know what I mean? She's charging, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
And it was a 4-poster bed.
Wow.
So what I did was, when she opened the door, I went, what's going on? I stood up in the middle of the bed.
It takes something to shake a 4-poster bed, doesn't it?
Alan,
Wow.
I know.
How about that?
And I jumped from where I was stood over the end of the bed, over the 4-poster bed, by one leg.
Yeah.
And I was hanging with the other one, and I just quickly jumped up and ran in. And she said, oh, what's wrong? I said, what's wrong? There's something in there. It's just trying to attack me. Anyway, I told her, you know, what had gone on, and she said, I said, I said, don't tell anyone. I said, because I don't think anyone will believe me.
Right.
And she said, well, I'll tell you what, your face is as white as a sheet. And yes, I do believe you.
No, I bet. I bet you were petrified.
Oh, I was expecting something like some white smoke or something coming up from the bed, you know, like from the side of it.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, Alan, I was a bit naughty.
Right.
Me and my friends messed about the Ouija board.
Right.
And I think I may have caused a spirit, but was in our house.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah, because my friends, there was all part of us, and they said, oh, yeah, just carry on, because it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? You just mess on.
Yeah, sure.
And, you know, someone makes it up, don't they? You know, they push the glass here and everywhere. And you can tell, because they go, oh, what's out there? I can't see it. You know, and things like that.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, it's just a load of rubbish. You know what I mean? So,
until that
obviously,
happened.
I joined in. Well, it ended up being a load of rubbish. But what happened was, we didn't experience anything in the house that we were doing it in.
Right.
What happened was, we went to, well, obviously I can't go into details, but we went to a girl's house, which is one of us,
Right. Yeah.
and we tried to do it there, thinking, oh, yeah, it's all innocent. But I tell you what, Alan, no one should do it, ever.
Right.
No one.
No, hey, well said.
No one should ever try this. Please do not try it. Anyway, me and a couple of friends were in the kitchen, and we set it all up, and we're like thinking, you know, Joanne's just going to make some up again, you know, because she was saying things like she was getting in contact with someone called Vivek, who was in a past life, who was his girlfriend, and apparently he flew a plane, and he died in this plane crash, and he was contacting my friend.
Right.
So I thought, oh, you know, anyway, we did it in their house. I am not joking, Alan. I would never ever do it again.
Right.
We had our fingers on the glass, yeah, and we said, oh, you know, is anyone there, you know, does anyone to talk to us? And the glass just moved to yes, yeah.
Right.
Well, the thing is, Alan, I only realised the difference between what they were doing to what was happening.
Right. Yeah.
Because the glass moved that fast, it can't have been any of them.
Right. Okay.
I asked the spirit who he was.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have a proper communication thing with small letters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they came into the circle, and I said, take your fingers off now. Do not let that spirit get through that circle. Do not.
Right.
We all took our hands off. I said, right, I got them all together. I said, I hope you have all learned your lessons.
Right. That's them.
Don't ever mess on with us again.
No, that's what you've said. All right, Jackie. Well, thank you very much for all of that. Thank you for your stories about Stockton as well. We are now educated.
Yeah, but the thing is, I can't work out where this ghost has come from in Shaftesbury Street.
Right, okay. Well, we'll have to try and find out. Thank you very much for calling, though, Jackie. Appreciate it. Must move on. 0191 488 3188. We are about 5 minutes away from our next Habnab. Now, we were talking about ugly and awful things. Do-it-yourself testicle surgery.
She was trying to cut the stitch
my goodness.
in my right one. Well, of course, and it just didn't work because the hairs were growing back. Well, because beforehand I was shaved.
Sure.
And then the hairs were growing back. So she says, oh, and I was hitting the ceiling by then. She says, I just can't do this. The young girl who was a practice nurse was beside herself, right?
Yeah.
I said, so what am I going to do? She says, you'll have to take warm baths and just try and prise the right one between your two thumbs. And to get the stitch out. And then after about a week or so of these warm baths, it eventually happened. And then I put a stitch in a little sample bottle. When I went back to work, I showed everybody at work, like, you know. So it was something to go through that. Like,
But blimey, you shouldn't have had to do your own surgery at the end.
Well, they couldn't deal with a scalpel. You know what I mean?
There. So you see, if we're talking about ugly things, testicles are going to fit into that category. But perhaps also does a man's appendage if it's a funny shape. Peyronie's disease gives you a banana-shaped penis.
It does. It creates an angle when the penis is erect.
Is this a problem sexually?
It could be. You really should go to the doctors before he gets any older, because obviously it's 13, his sex is raising its ugly head, isn't it, really, if you know what I mean?
In a banana shape?
Yes, in a banana-shaped sort of way.
To have this dealt with, they have to physically peel the penis and snap it?
They can treat it with corticosteroid injections into the penis, which wouldn't be very nice.
No. Now, talking about other things that are ugly, there's certain activities that don't look pretty, and it doesn't matter whatever way you try and do it, phrase it. This is about something that I'll describe as do it yourself in the desert.
We've been there for a few weeks, right? In the middle of the desert, you know. And men being men, whether it be army, the prison, you know, when men are alone, they need to relieve themselves.
Okay.
So
this is called DIY we're talking about.
DIY, let's call it DIY. That sounds good,
It's a clean way of putting it. This is when a man needs a little bit of sexual relaxation.
Right.
On his own. Right, okay.
Right, so we'd set one big camp up in the middle of the desert in Oman, right?
Right.
And you're not allowed to have any pornography of any kind.
Right.
But anyway, after about 6 weeks, my boss went, I found a dirty magazine. I thought, where the hell's he found that? Obviously, he's brought it with him, and he's going to get caught with it eventually.
Yeah.
So what happens was, like, we'd take turns at borrowing it. We'd just, like, yeah, go off into the desert. It was beautiful, you know. You had all the stars and that there, and you just have a flick through the magazine. We had to do a bit DIY.
Right.
Anyway, this night he went here. I says, can I have, says my boss, I says, can I have the magazine, boss? He went, aye, there you are, Gibson, get away. So I went away, and I used to wear it, you know, what, like the miners wear, like the head torch.
Oh, yeah, with a hat with the torch on it.
It's just like a lucky band around your head with a little torch on the front, you know. You look like a crap miner.
Right.
So there I was, like, all you can see is the magazine in front of you, basically, and I done my DIY.
Right.
The next day, I got called in to see the boss of the camp. He says, you need to go to a new battalion that's moved in. I went, oh, well, this is all they need to see you.
Right.
So I know you need to get yourself over there now. So I ran over. With about 300 people just come into the camp.
Yeah.
They all made a circle, one right in the middle of the circle. And they all started going, hey, you know, that song.
Right.
And I thought, oh, somebody must have told them I've had the magazine. But because I had this head torch on, I was stood in the middle of the desert. 300 soldiers actually walked past me, men, women.
And because you were the only thing lit up, you wouldn't see them.
I've never seen a thing, never heard a thing. The whole lot of them walk past us, and I'm standing, giving it 6 new for the old chicken. Oh my God. I was so embarrassed. I've never felt so small in my whole life.
Oh, dear. Isn't that just one of the greatest calls of all time? 0191 488 3188. Now, Linda from Barrisford is with us in a second. Just before that, I'm going to give you the 4th clue so that you can start ringing Chris and seeing if you can sort out tonight's competition. The first clue, the bad behaviour of young footballers is proof of this. Second clue, Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, John Dillinger, and their kind. And their kind. Third clue, sending a note to ex-Newcastle United manager, Mr. Hullett. Okay, sending a note or a missive to ex-Newcastle United manager, Mr. Hullett. Fourth clue, a place that was once occupied but now isn't. Usually these are found in a desert in America. A place that was once really busy but now nobody lives there. It's called a what? That's a song title too. Whose hits were they? If you know, you should be calling Chris right now on 0191 488 3188. Whose hits? If you know, call us immediately, if not even quicker. Chris, do you have the answer? Do you know? Have any clue what that is? Right. Well, people are calling in. Bear with me a second. You will hear a tiny little bit of nothing. He knows now the answer. So, and anybody that's watching down your YouTubes and your Facebooks probably read my lips. Therefore, you know the answer too. Now, I was going to go across to Linda, but I noticed Linda is lit up, but she's not where I can pick her up. So, Chris, oh, there she is. Hello, Linda.
Hello, Alan.
Hello, how are you?
I'm waving.
I'm waving too. Hello. How you doing?
Oh, what was it? Well, the last 6 days,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a very nice way of putting this, but this is what you would probably say.
Ooh.
I've had the Messerschmitts.
You've had the Messerschmitts? Oh,
I have.
dear. Oh,
and
no.
What was it? I've never had diarrhea that long ever before.
Well, at least you've now told everybody about it. I'm just picturing somebody saying, I was going to have this mince and dumplings, but I think I'll leave it till the morning now. That's probably where. Oh my goodness! So how long were you? Because you could also call it the spam fritters, the skitters. How long have you had it for then?
6 days.
Oh, 6 days.
I lost 3 kilos.
Oh! I hope you didn't keep it all in a bucket. Dear.
Oh dear.
Goodness, that's half a wheelie bin. That's terrifying.
That's 3 bags of sugar.
It's at least that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh dear me. I hope you had the windows open.
You'd need the windows and doors and everything open.
I was gonna say, oh dear me. So, what did you do to stop it then? I'm guessing it wasn't a cork.
What was it? Diarrhea.
Diarrhea. And that works, did it? How long did it take? Well, it took you 6 days of suffering, though. That's a lot of pain.
Yeah, it was.
That's no, not nice at all. Oh dear me.
What was it? I drank Coca-Cola, but flat.
Is that supposed to help? Is it?
Yeah.
All right, I see. I've heard that can be good for your tummy, to settle a tummy, and yet I would have thought just an odd substance. Was there nothing medical you could take that'll calm you down?
Well, it was diarrhea. I was given by the doctor, but I had to wait till Friday till I got it.
Oh, right. Well, that's not good. Right.
Because I couldn't get out the house.
Right. Oh, yeah. It's a horrible thing.
And the thing is, I'm looking after my mum now as well.
All right. How long has that been going on?
Since the 5th of January.
All right. How's it going? Are you managing?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, bless. Right.
What was it? But she sometimes she doesn't sleep, and she was given a tablet.
Right.
It's called I don't know how to pronounce it. It's ZOP, I think.
Well, it's a tablet that starts ZOP, right?
ZOPICLONE.
Zeplicone, whatever. But anyway, what does that do to her? Put her to sleep? Does it help her sleep?
Yeah, but the thing is, I give her one tablet, and she was like a zombie.
Right.
So I thought, I'm not giving her that again, you know.
She's probably going to need help sleeping if the house smells as badly as I think it might have done. 6 days. She's probably choking for oxygen. Give me oxygen.
She was having sachets for she was bunged up.
Oh.
And I was having sachets because...
Yeah, I was going to say, be careful what you wish for. Yeah. One was one way and the other was the other way. That was the thing. Oh, what a shame.
my brother came up from Wales, and he brought from her house a reclining chair.
Right.
And the hospital bed.
Right. Oh, that's good. That's
handy. And the Northumberland County Council come to check it tomorrow to see if it's been assembled properly.
Right.
So, but she's comfortable.
She hasn't fallen out of it yet, so it makes it sound like it's probably done right then.
Oh yeah, she hasn't fallen out of it. No.
Right. Good. That's good.
What was it? She doesn't ever want to go back to her care home again.
Right. I understand. And you're going to be all right. You're going to be capable of looking after her, because sometimes you got to look after you too, Linda. That's the thing.
Well, my brother from Cramlington, he comes on a Monday and Tuesday.
Right.
So it gives me a bit of a break, sort of thing, you know.
I understand. It's very, very gallant of you to do. It's a lovely thing to do, and I can't imagine how much work it is, because I would imagine it's 24 hours, isn't it? Really?
It is. Do you know when people say 24/7? It is 24/7. Believe me.
I bet it is.
Because she gets up in the night and I go and check on her and everything like that, and she doesn't want any carers. She just wants me. And but if things got harder for me, I'd have to bring somebody in.
Sure. But hopefully there'll be people that would be able to do that for you, give you a little bit more of a break. Just got to be a bit careful. Don't bite off more than you can chew, Linda.
No, that's right.
Yeah, you got to be a bit careful, because if you're not well, you cannot look after your mom, So then everything tumbles down.
That's what my sister's afraid of as well, you know.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Look, I've been all right now for 2 years.
Yeah.
I have, I've my mind's, all right, sort of thing. It's just physically, I'm not as 100%. I should.
No, I understand. And also, it's not good when you got a brown vapor trail for 6 days. That's not helpful either.
Oh dear me! You used to always say, Messerschmitts. I remember that.
Absolutely, had the Messerschmitts. No question about it. It's a horrible, horrible thing. The only good thing about it is it's probably killed every fly in your house. That was probably the only upside.
I think even the spiders, got
choking and falling off their webs. Hey, well, stay well. Lovely hearing from you, Linda. Thank you for ringing in.
And you as well, Alan.
Love to you, man.
Not too long today. Oh, and Happy New Year as well.
Thank you, and have a Happy New Year too. Give me love to your mum as well, if you will.
I will.
All right, Dan. You take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There's Linda from Barrisford. Time for a bit of music, and let's have another star that comes out at night. I promised you 2, in fact. The dynamic duo are, in fact, the Lighthouse family. Just genuinely lovely, lovely people. So I thought we'd have a chat to them about the topic of ghosts.
I suppose I should lighten this up a bit. I'll tell you a funny story about my little girl. She's in my bed. She's sitting up, bolt upright, looking. I said, what are you looking at? I'm just looking at that lady. What lady? She said, that one. I said, what's she doing? She said, she's just standing by the curtains. I said, what's she doing? She said, she's just looking at us. Right, and I'm like, so I like waking my girl up. Wake up, listen. And I said, is there anybody else then? She said, and I said, who else is there? And she goes, a dinosaur. And I thought, get in. I can buy the old lady ghost. I can buy that. I can believe that. But the ghost dinosaur, I couldn't have it.
Hey, face it, they're wiped out. They're
but
all
it's
dead.
like that kind of. But that thing with kids, when they sort of like, they come out with this stuff, and because it's like coming from like kids, it's like it scares you, doesn't it?
Real.
It's like, whoa.
It's more real. Have you seen anything for yourself? What about you?
There's places I've been where there's something kind of
weird.
Yeah, I want to get out of there,
Yeah.
There's something a bit sort of,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And there's been houses I've lived in the past where people have said things and I've tried to sort of paper over it.
Yeah.
And yet things keep sort of happening, and you sort of think, in the end, you just kind of put it out your mind, but you just kind of think,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not going to get involved in this, you know?
Sure.
But I mean, I remember once there was this house I went to, it was a party, and there were some people, everyone got drunk. They started mucking about with one of these Ouija boards, you know?
All right.
Which I don't think, you know, I don't think it's a great idea playing with that stuff, because people are doing it. They ain't doing it for any kind of, it's a lot of the time it's just doing it for entertainment.
Absolutely.
It's a kind of cheap thrill, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're playing around with that, you know,
who knows?
Yeah. But anyway, this night they were doing that, right? And then we went to bed. There was this, somebody woke me up, right? And said, get out. The house is on fire, right?
Whoa.
Right? The house is on fire, right? I opened the door. I couldn't even wake up. My head was already full of, you know, smoke and stuff, you know? And what happened was somebody had put this, it was like a clay candle pot with faces cut out of it on the landing.
Yeah.
The carpet had caught fire. The walls had gone up.
Jeez.
And there was a lad that I used to work in a bar with in Newcastle. This wasp was in his room, and it got agitated by the heat and the smoke and stung him and woke him up. And he woke up. And you could see, like, through that glass thing above the door, you could see all this flickering and all this smoke and stuff. And then opened the door. If he hadn't woken up then,
What's the chances?
I'm just making sure that I keep my knees back away from the table so that I can't touch it now.
Is she still picking up? Is it curtain on there? I don't understand that either.
Why don't you just take a quiet walk upstairs? Kenny, just get us any footage. Talk us through anything you feel or you hear, you see. And we'll do some, hopefully, chatting with Cecily here. Are you here, Cecily? We want to talk to Cecily. Getting a bit of negatory here. You see that one, Tony?
It's all over.
We call you Cecily. I mean, Miss Ritson. If you're there, make the rods cross. Oh, hello. I mean, you don't get more. I would say that's a crossing, would you?
Yes.
Shivers. Okay. You did say you would never leave here. If you meant it, cross the rods. On one of our other devices, it spoke about you being dismissed, sacked, thrown out because you were too violent. Were you too violent? I would say that that's a no. Would you? Because they're not crossing, but look at how...
Yeah, they're moving.
Do you think that's just saying no? They said you were too violent. You don't think so? Did they deserve what you did to them? Oh. So you know you... Did you hit them with your hand? Do you hear footsteps there? I can hear a clock. Hear a clock as well.
It's just got
where
really
is
loud,
it?
hasn't it? That's on the wall just here. It just got really loud though.
Yeah.
Hasn't it?
Why?
Now I can't hear it.
Neither can I.
It just became really loud.
What the hell?
That was weird.
You didn't hit them with your hand. Did you hit them with a strap? Did you hit them with a cane? Did you hit them with a piece of wood? Did you hit them with birch? Ah. Birch take your skin off. It is wood, but it's you cut it fresh, and it can, if you lash people with it, it cuts them to the bone. Nasty, nasty, nasty. They were little children, Miss Ritson. They were just little children. Did you have any children of your own?
Ooh, what was that?
The door's open again. The door's open again.
Oh, God. It came from this area as well.
I know it did.
Whatever that was.
Was that you? I just heard like a crinkly noise. I've got a plastic bag here. It sounded like it was slightly further away than that. Did you hear it?
No, didn't hear it.
Damn.
Your mic might have picked it up though.
Right. I'm just holding the rod still. Miss Ritson is telling me that she didn't have any children. If you had any children, cross the rods. I always take that as to mean no. You know where they...
God.
Did you have any joy?
There was like a white thing against the wall, which I couldn't understand. You'll see it on here.
Have you noticed the doors open again? Behind you. And we just heard it. We heard a noise and the doors open. She's been, sorry.
Like a white round thing on, like moving. I can only describe it as like a floating orbie kind of.
Did you catch it on the camera?
I hope so. I mean, camera was pointing that way.
Right.
So I hope so. But there was not, Ted wasn't doing anything, so I thought, if we bring Ted down here.
We've got Cecily on here, Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it claims to be Cecily. There's no guarantee. But she says that she didn't hit them with a cane. She didn't hit them with a strap. She hit them with birch, which is the nastiest thing you can belt kids with.
And there was birch in that graveyard, wasn't there? I don't know if you noticed it. Did you see
Yeah, I saw it.
things in the graveyard?
You know. Did you get your birch twigs from the cemetery? No, she don't.
No.
Why did you hit them? They were just little children. I asked if they deserved it, and you said yes. Well, she's not happy. She's not happy. Are you being Yes, I'm being judgmental of you. Because you were wrong. That's why they sacked you. You were wrong. Do you accept that? No, absolutely not. Now, we're told that people who come here have felt shoved and they felt threatened. Maybe that's where my flutter comes from. Because it's not, I'm not conscious of being frightened in here.
No, I'm not frightened. I feel sick.
We're not scared of you, Miss Ritson. Just you're stuck here. We're not. Oh, I said we're stuck here. She crossed the rods. Did you see that? Yes, you're stuck here, aren't you?
We're not.
We're
0191 488 3188.
This is Night Owls.
Okay, so the 4 clues are down. Not very many of you have got this one right. A lot of you very, very wrong indeed. Have a think. And once you get one answer, go back through the group or the artist's back catalogue to get the other answers, because they're all hits. Remember, greatest hits. So, 4 greatest hits, but by who? Whose hits? That's the thing. We got Andrew next. He is in South Shields. I beg your pardon. He's in North Shields. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Alan.
Hello, mate. What can we do for you tonight?
Did Blue Eyes and Sid Vicious sing I Did It Migraine? That's all I can
Fantastic. I Did It Migraine. Brilliant.
That's all I can think of for that one.
That's good. Good job.
The ugly thing, I saw it. The alien that I think Brigham Young had seen,
right?
Who was having trouble with spectacles.
Right. So what did it look like?
I was at the coast, and it looked like something from Monty Python's actually, like melted down. This lump on the ground on the seashore,
right,
on the sand, but it had these spectacles, and it was keep lifting its arm to its spectacles.
Right.
I had trouble with spectacles. This alien that I saw,
right,
and it was I was Brigham Young, so it was rather ugly.
Right.
Is it Brigham Young? One of those, anyway.
Right. Right.
The scenes. And I didn't steal these specs off him or anything. I just looked at him for a while and walked away.
Right.
Ugly alien on the seashore.
So
interesting.
Are you sure it wasn't a jellyfish? Maybe could it be the jellyfish, a short-sighted jellyfish?
No, I think it had eyes.
All right.
It was looking at me.
Well, it wouldn't need
It had
glasses if
eyes,
it didn't
I
have
think.
eyes, though, you see. That's the thing.
I think it had a mouth as well. It was looking at me.
Right.
Kind of superciliously, like idiotically.
Right.
And it was keep lifting its arm to its spectacles, like it was ridiculing me. Have you ever seen one? You'll have heard of them, have you?
Aliens, I've heard of them. I never seen a one. That's the thing. Would like to.
Well,
Uri Geller today was saying that we should prepare for an alien invasion. I don't know how he knows it, but do you agree with him?
No, I don't suppose we're going to have an alien invasion. That happened something like 58 years ago.
Right. So, and you think that was just like an alien one-off?
Probably.
Probably. Okay.
There probably is life out there somewhere. But why should you think we're about to be invaded?
You've been to the moon, though, Andrew. Was there nothing there?
I've been to the moon twice, yes.
Right.
I was shocked that I didn't go when I was 8 years old. I went when I was 7.
Right.
I thought with having gone when I was 4 years old, I should go when I was 8. 4 and 8.
Right. Okay. We went 4 and 7 instead.
And I went when I was 7, which is a bit messy, I think. But no, I didn't see any aliens there. I've also been to Venus twice.
And there's nothing there either? Is that empty?
Nothing there either, except the crystal floor and the astonishingly intimidating mace over the head, above my head.
Right. So there was nobody wielding the mace?
No, it was planet Mercury. It was known as Thor's hammer.
I see what you're saying. I've got you now. Right.
I was on Venus looking at the ground, which was like some kind of crystal, hard crystal, like frozen crystal sea or something of ground.
Right, yeah.
And I was still hearing psychically voices from Earth.
Oh, right,
and I heard this girl say, "Look up," and I looked up. And I saw Mercury, very threatening, close overhead.
Right.
And I heard other girls say, "Are you satisfied?" In reply to her, I think.
Right. Women have said that to me before. With respect,
I didn't see aliens. I didn't see anyone.
No, you didn't see any aliens there. No, I understand. Okay. Right. Anything else in while you're on, Andrew?
Sorry, you were going to say something.
No, I was just referring to the fact that you've been on Venus and you've been on the moon
twice,
which is further than a lot of people have been, and just no sign of any kind of life at all. Then
Well, I think I have a claim at being the first man on the moon, or the first since the resurrection, because I got there before Neil Armstrong, before the film, before the space was filmed.
Right.
And I was 4 years old. The astronauts did say that there was children 5 years old or so on the moon before them.
Really? I don't remember that report back to Earth at the time, but I obviously was too young to be paying too much attention back in the 60s.
Mars must be very, very cold to go to. And they say there's a delta between Venus and Mars. I thought I was going to Mars when I went to Venus.
Oh, right. Right. Easy to get on the wrong ship, though, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously not very signposted very well. That's always going to be a problem if you're like a million miles in the wrong direction.
I suffered insomnia I suffered a great deal of lack of sleep for 8 years. And then I got out of bed, and I was out of bed and on the run for 4 years.
Linda was on the run for 6 days just before.
Who was? Sorry?
Linda, Linda was on before. She was on the run as well for a while. So.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes. No, I was without sleep entirely for 4 years.
Right.
And I hadn't slept well the previous 8 years.
How did you cope, though, with being awake that length of time?
Well, during that time, I was sent to Venus.
All right. Okay.
And when I came back from Venus, I was amused because there was no procession or anything, no welcome home.
Yeah, you'd at least expect a ticker tape parade or something of that sort.
But I was just amused, thinking, well, no one's going to believe this, and I feel better about being awake now. Perhaps I can sleep sometime soon.
And did you get back to normal after that?
I've never slept well in my life, but I slept a little bit better after that. Yeah, I did get some sleep after that.
Right, okay. Hey, well, thank you very much for calling, Andrew.
Thank you for asking me.
You're more than welcome. Anytime. Thank you for sharing. There's Andrew in North Shields. 0191 488 3188. We don't have very long, but let's get Matthew on. Hi, Matthew.
Hello, Alan. You all right, mate?
Yes, I'm good.
I'm going to go very quickly because I don't want to lose me. Okay.
You have to tonight.
I'm going down the beach with Ian on Wednesday. I had a good time. Played Hitman 3. I had a good time. Shouted to Mary and Jimmy. Shouted to Ian. I'm saying, Alan, your ghost hunt was pretty good, by the way. You know what I mean, by the way?
Glad you liked it. Thank you.
I'm saying what you're doing tomorrow, by the way, Alan.
I don't know yet. I've got a little bit of work to do in the morning, and in the afternoon I should be finished by about 3. Right.
Okay. I'm going out. I've had a good week. I'm watching Call the Midwives on Sunday again, and thank you for fitting me in. Good night. Thank you.
That was easy, short and sharp. Thank you, Matthew. You actually had it at least another minute, but that's fine. I can fill. So let me fill. We had 2 callers, and I thought, that'll see us niftily out. Instead, I shall merely respond with the 4 clues, because this is your last chance to score here. If you want to be a winner, now is the time. The first clue to a song title, the bad behavior of young footballers, is proof of this. Another song title, Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, John Dillinger, and their kind. Third clue, sending a note to ex-Newcastle United manager, Mr. Hullett. And the fourth clue, a place that was once occupied but now isn't, usually found in a desert. So, if you've got any clue, you call Chris right now on 0191 488 3188.